Like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show. Weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
We can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillars. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right
to live? Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media, and you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead and hit that like button, because you already know what time it is, and you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've even seen some people do it well. But what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this, and it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content now. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, folks. Today we are back. We're going to be doing a very, very interesting show. Believe it or not, we're going to deal with what could, I don't know, could come across as a sore subject to some people, but it's a necessary subject to do. We're going to deal with why Black women will never be as beautiful as white women, y'all. Yeah, we're going to deal with why Black women will never be as beautiful as white women. Yeah, I know. Could get tense or whatever with somebody, not to me. Somebody might get upset about that, but over here, we don't push false narratives, so we're going to have to get into some real stuff over here. We're going to have to get into some real stuff. Now, before we get started, we want to give a shout out to all the people who watch me on a regular basis, because, y'all make up the fam, so I appreciate y'all. Shout out to all the people who leave comments after the stream. That helps with the algorithm and things like that. Shout out to all the people who hype me up every chance they get. I know you can only do it so much, but it's always good to do it at the Roger Report Live. And that's real talk. And shout out to all the people who hit that like button, y'all. Y'all helping the channel grow like that. Y'all letting it be known somebody needs to see this. So make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Okay? And shout out to the people who go above and beyond the call of duty, and they put a little something on the plate Shout out to everybody who put some money on the wood at the Roger Report Live, because it's always good. And a special shout out goes to Creator, who is the sponsor of today's stream. Shout out to Creator, who is the sponsor of today's stream. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. All right. And let's give a few shout outs to some of the first people to check in this morning. Y'all know how it go. There can only be one, and that's just what it is. And that one today, I believe this just might be his first. It just might be his first. Now, if I'm wrong, you can let me know. But I'm going to still give a good shout out to the Highlander of today's stream. My main man, Brooklyn's finest, is in the building. Great to see you, brother. Great to see you. Shout out to Trail Billy following them up, representing as he always does. Hashtag long live habitual line steppers. Hashtag Negroes in the wilderness. Hashtag dignity over vagina. Hashtag Al Gore's babies. Hashtag Hail Hydra. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you. Shout out to the righteous teachers at the cool table. Glad to have you, brother. Glad to have you. I'm seeing your comments, bro. My main man, Inspired Truth Broadcasters, in the building. Great to see you. Great to see you. Afro Merchant, what's up, brother? Great to have you here. Great to have you here. I'm seeing some of these comments y'all making, y'all, but it's gonna be a good show, y'all. It's gonna be a good show. All right, y'all. We gonna deal with maybe this is somewhat considered taboo to a lot of black folks, or maybe to a lot of black women. You know, maybe they've kind of pushed it to the men to a level where it might really be considered taboo. But y'all, we gonna deal with some realness. We gonna deal with some realness. Things happen, things get said, people make moves. We're gonna have to look at some of this stuff at some point in time. So we're going to deal with why black women will never be as beautiful as white women. Now, realistically, when it comes to what black women have the ability to look like, I mean, when you look at natural beauty, sure, they look better than white women. I give y'all that. I'll give y'all that. If we just look at physical, natural beauty, boom. Okay, yeah. They can fade white women easy. I grant you that. We not gonna act like that ain't the truth. But we also understand it is very rare, extremely rare, to see a black woman who is in a natural beauty state. Let's keep that real now. Let's keep that real. All right. You can walk around any major city or even a pretty decent sized town. You can see different women. And you can see women that you're not necessarily exposed to due to proximity on the internet nowadays. You can see it on television. You see them in movies and whatnot. Well, I ain't gonna say movies because everybody take a little makeup in movies just about. But just people walking around, you can see it. So we kind of see what women look like, from different backgrounds. I've seen some Chinese women in their natural state. Okay. I've seen some Korean women in their natural state. I've seen some white women in their natural state. Y'all, believe it or not, I've even actually seen some black women in a natural state. And if you want to see a black woman, look natural, all right, my best advice, if you come to Chicago, okay, you come to Chicago, I'm going to say go to downtown Chicago, all right, go around lunchtime or anywhere on a Monday through Friday, all right? You can see people, going to different places. They're going to grab some lunch. you might actually see some black women in their natural state. Look for a white man, and maybe you'll see an afro. Okay. Maybe you'll see some type of hairstyle with natural black hair next to them. Because I do get that a lot of black men have said time and time again that they want black women to wear their natural hair. And I get they don't really wear it for us. But if you go to an area where you got enough white people, you will see a black woman with a natural hairstyle. You can find it, y'all. See, the thing is, a lot of us haven't been told you got to look for the white man first. Okay? You find that white man, now you can find some natural hair. Now, I get it. Some people going to say, well, you know what? There's black women who got natural hair with black men. I'm not going to say that ain't true. I even dated a woman once who wore her natural hair, but it was only one. You know, if I think about every woman I've ever even just messed with, not a girlfriend, not a relationship, just mess with, and she was black. I'm trying to see, was there even a second one that wasn't natural hair? It's not coming to mind right off hand. It's not coming to mind. Okay. Yeah, it ain't. It just ain't. Okay. It ain't coming to mind right now. Right now, I can't remember a black woman that I dealt with in any level that wore her natural hair. I had one girlfriend who wore her natural hair. Yeah, that's all I can remember at this particular point. I'm talking about just anyone. You know, some hit it and quit it type stuff, some one night stand stuff. We just out at the party stuff. Something went down stuff, whatever. I don't remember no other woman that was black who wore her natural hair. Just don't remember that. So you're not going to really find black women out looking natural. That's just, you're not going to really get that, you know? And for whatever reason, a lot of black women now wear a lot of makeup now. I don't know what's been changing. I just been noticing it's been changing. Why it's been changing, I can't say I really paid much attention to it, but I have noticed there's been increasing numbers of black women who wear makeup. Now, if you're a sensible person, you understand. Well, I ain't gonna say that. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Makeup was made for white women to have a little color to them so they can be considered more attractive. Black women already had color to them, so they didn't need it. But they used it anyway. You know, and I get it. I get it. If you want to be like a white woman and a white woman use makeup, then yeah, you use it too. Okay? Yeah, if you know about it, you know, bringing color so they can get people attention. Yeah, you just see, okay, it's redundant, but hey, you know, black women do want to be like white women. Let's be real about that. You know, let's be real. Black women, and of course, we're talking about the majority. I know it may be somebody slow who think that meant every white woman. That's because you're dumb, okay? But when you when you're a little smarter, you understand a general statement doesn't mean every single person. When you somehow master some third grade education, you will realize it just means most. And do most black women want to be like white women? Yes, absolutely. And if you don't believe me, just look at their hair. It's that simple at the end of the day. If you don't believe me, just look at their hair. You'll see it. Okay. Now, of course, you can find it in all kind of other ways, but you know, hair is just very easy for people to spot. Now, y'all, let's look at it. We live in a society where black women constantly talk about how white women are celebrated. All right. Now, I'm not going to say there's no truth to that, because are white women celebrated in this country? Absolutely. Let's be real about it. Okay. Let's be real. Okay. Are white women celebrated in the United States of America? They sure are. They sure are, in all kinds of levels and facets. You know, their beauty is going to be celebrated. Shout out to you, Trevor. I see that last comment. White women are gonna be celebrated in movies. All right. White women gonna be celebrated in TV shows. White women gonna be celebrated in ads. Okay. White women gonna be celebrated in social media. You know. Well, what's gonna happen in America is white women are going to be celebrated. All right. And you know who pays attention to that more than anybody, it seems like? It seems black women pay attention. Black women pay attention to that more than anybody. All right. Shout out to black women because they pay attention. They see it. They see it, y'all. Don't nobody tell you how white women are celebrated as much as black women. All you got to do is sit down and listen. Black women will tell you all day how white women are just celebrated in all kinds of ways. All right. They pay far more attention to it than us. Okay. Now, most of us here are black men. Okay. You know, some other folks scattered in, women scattered in here and there, even some white folks scattered in here and there. But most of us right now, you know, it's men. Okay. Now, is there anything wrong with the beautiful white woman being celebrated? No. Let's be realistic, y'all. What's wrong with celebrating white women's beauty? Nothing. Okay? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay? Do beauty need to be celebrated? No. But if you want to celebrate women because they care about stuff like this, does it make sense to celebrate the women and make them happy? Sure. Because let's be real. Even though it may not be required, people like to have it sometimes. There's things that people just like to have. And when you take it away from them, it don't feel good. So no, if you compliment your woman on a regular basis, she likes it. She may get tired of it. She may even, quote unquote, be annoyed by it. But let you take it away, she gonna notice. It ain't gonna feel too good. It ain't gonna feel too good. Shout out to Truth Teller. Just glad to see you in the building, brother. Glad to see you in the building. Okay. All right. So how do I know black women pay attention far more than other folk? Because black women will tell us as men, they will say, you niggas like white women. Okay. Because, you know, they're not even smart enough to say, brothers, we think there's a real issue because y'all are really drawn to white women. Now they gonna say something more along the lines, you niggas look like white women. Y'all love them white women. See, even them expressing something to us that you would think that they would want us to take a concern with, they'll call us niggas directly. You niggas love white women. That's the problem. You niggas love white women. Now, all I'm saying is, if you trying to get somebody to do something for you, you might want to say it in a nicer way. You might want to at least try to be sweet when you bring it up, you know? But no, not us. Not us. We niggas to them. And even though they want us to do something, they got to come at us hard, okay? They got to come at us hard, okay? You niggas need to stop. Stop what? Y'all be loving these white women. Now, let's be realistic. All right? When black men get married, do they marry white women? Sure. There are some that have married white women, but they are a minority. Okay? 85% of black wives to black men are black. Okay? Well, let me say that a little better. 85% of black men have a black wife. Just to make that clear. Okay? Now, do some of us marry with some white women? Sure. Okay? Is it a big deal? Not really. Depending upon who you're talking to. That depends on who you're talking to. Is it a big deal? No, the truth is not really that big a deal. When you getting something at 85%, you're doing well. 85% of anything is pretty good. All right, 85% of anything is pretty good. That's not a negative thing. Now, if you start saying, do most black men have a black wife? Well, then no, most of us do not. Okay, because black men love black women so much. This is what it is. Because a lot of black men could pursue women of other races, but we don't. Because a lot of us wanted to be with a black woman, and that's just what it is. It was black women or bust. Now, okay, it's starting to go in a slightly different direction based on what we kind of seeing from even younger folk. So possibly, the number of black men who are married are going to start marrying more women who are not considered black. Now, I get that's a concern to black women, but whose responsibility is it to be beautiful? Is it a black man's responsibility to make a woman beautiful, or is it her responsibility to make a woman beautiful? Now, black women talk a lot of stuff about advertising and, marketing and how we love these white women. See, black women still have the perception that if you put a woman on television or you put her in some ads, you put her in some magazines, somehow a grown man, okay, he will get a hard on for a certain kind of woman because you keep putting that woman in his face. Now, I'm going to say that's some amazing logic. All right? That's some amazing logic. You think if you put a woman in my face enough times, I'm supposed to just get a hard on all of a sudden. I ain't never liked it beforehand, but if you just put it in my face enough time, I'm going to just start liking her. Well, that's what black women think. Now, let's keep it real, y'all. Ads do something about moving products. I'm not going to act like that ain't the truth. It's about making you think about a product so when you go to purchase an item, that particular thing will come to your mind and then you'll lean in that direction. But the people selling the products, that's a whole different thing. Okay? Nobody had to make a commercial for me to see a white woman that's attractive. If she's attractive, she's attractive. It's that simple at the end of the day. Okay? Ain't nobody had to make a commercial to see for me to think a Chinese woman is attractive. If she attractive, she attractive. It is what it is. Now, can you put a product in these people's hands? Okay, sure you can. Will I buy a particular product based on the image of some Chinese person saying something about some particular product? Maybe. Okay. If that product is on my mind when I go into a store, sure. If that product is on my mind when I'm sitting at the computer ordering some stuff, maybe. But you can't make a woman attractive to me. How you gonna do that one? If I find you ugly, how you all of a sudden gonna be attractive because somebody put you in my face? Now, shout out to all the women who believe that if you just look at a woman enough times, you're gonna just automatically be attracted to her. Okay? I don't see how that works. I just don't see how that works. All right. Now, can black women's beauty truly compare to white women's beauty? I'm going to say when I was younger, y'all, I used to think, and this was just being real, y'all. I really used to think, well, hold on. Let me read the super chat first. Shout out to No Placeholder. Appreciate the super chat, my brother. Thank you for having me get off to the good start. He says, background brings back memories of private school. Well, I hope it was some wonderful memories, my brother. according to that smile, I assume that it is. I assume that those memories are pretty nice. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Now I'm gonna keep it real, y'all. When I was a kid, I thought black women could be just as beautiful as white women. That's what I thought. Now, this me. Now I done spent a lot of time around black folks, y'all. I done spent a lot of time around black folks. So guess what? I grew up, it was little girls. Okay. I'm a little boy. I'm seeing little girls. I thought the girls was attractive. Okay. I thought the girls was cute. Okay. I can remember maybe, I ain't saying I didn't do something beforehand. I can say I remember being attracted to black girls. I don't know. I was maybe fifth grade. You know what I'm saying? Maybe fifth grade. Maybe a little younger. Something like that. Maybe fourth grade or something. But I remember being attracted to black girls. Okay. Now I ain't saying I ain't like a girl when I was 5, 6, 7. I don't know. I don't remember. I've always remembered liking some girls. Okay. I've always remembered that. So I used to think that black women could be just as beautiful as anybody else. Truth be told, I thought black women looked better than everybody else. And I carried that belief all the way up until I became a grown man. And I'm starting to accept a reality, y'all, that maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe black women just can't be as beautiful as white women. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit of why. All right, and I got a guess, so I'm gonna bring you up in a second. I'm gonna say, have y'all ever complimented a woman? I mean, just being a cool guy, you're out in the street, a woman walks past you, and you just compliment her. Okay, you say something. Oh, you look beautiful today. Now, I'm not even saying a woman you just passing some woman in the street. Oh, you look beautiful today. Now maybe she cared you said it, maybe she did. Okay. Sometimes women will respond. I'm not going to even say that women respond every single time a person says something to them, but sometimes they actually do respond. And as you get older, you do stuff more and more. Sometimes you start noticing little things here and there. Okay. You start noticing things little here and there. So now you start to notice that when you say something to black women, they don't really say much. Okay. It's not a big deal to them. It don't matter. But you say something to a white woman, she'll say thank you, whether she wanted it or not. Okay. A lot of times she's going to say thank you. She might smile, whether it's one of those scared smiles or one of those I mean it smiles, a sincere smile. Sometimes you still scare them. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know where y'all from. I'm from Chicago, so it's still some white folks scared of black folks here. So sometimes you scare them, but they still smile. I can kind of tell the difference between a I'm scared smile versus a sincere smile. It's pretty obvious to me in some cases, but little things like this happen. So over time, you start noticing that you personally would try to celebrate a black woman's beauty, but it's rejected. And when you say a black woman's beautiful, it don't really count to them. Now you can do whatever you want as far as trying to get across to them that they look okay, but it's like they ain't really feeling it. Sometimes you talk to a woman that you're in a relationship with and she asks you about an outfit and you say, well, I will wear this outfit, because she showed you 2 outfits. And you say, I'll wear the one on the left. And what does she do? She wears the one on the right. And you're sitting there asking yourself, well, why did you even ask me? If you was just gonna wear the one on the right, why would you even ask me? And you know what? It could be innocent. I'm saying these things happens to guys. It's people that report these things happen to them on a regular basis. So if women do not accept that they look good to you, if it's not important, okay, if it's not important at all that you keep telling them that they look good, do they really look good? Are they really attractive, or are we just dumb? Are we dumb for saying they look attractive when they don't seem to accept that they look attractive? Because if I tell you you look good and you keep acting like I don't think you look good, is it okay for me to question what's going on? Maybe I should come to a different conclusion because I'm telling you you look good, but you don't accept that you look good. So if you keep telling me that you don't look good, because I keep telling you that you do, one of us is wrong. There's no getting around it. Okay, one of us is wrong. We talking about the same person. We talking about two different conclusions. One of us is wrong. Now, I get it, y'all. People gonna say, well, beauty is subjective. To a certain degree, sure. Okay? But if I keep telling you you're beautiful and you keep telling me I'm wrong, is it wrong of me to accept your answer? Maybe she ain't beautiful. Maybe she really don't look good. Well, who's beautiful to her? White women. How do I know they're beautiful to her? She's always telling me about how their beauty is being celebrated. There is no way for me to be around black women and don't hear about how beautiful white women are. So maybe I was wrong the whole time. Now, when did I first start liking little black girls? Yeah, when I was a kid, grammar school. Okay. I can remember stuff like 5th grade or what, something like that. I don't really remember younger than that. I ain't saying it took me that long to do it, but I'm gonna say what I remember. But if I was thinking they was the most beautiful thing since then, and I kept growing up, and people keep telling me, matter of fact, I ain't even just gonna say people, black women keep telling me that I'm wrong. Is it time for me to let it go? And just accept maybe I'm wrong. Maybe black women just aren't beautiful. So I don't think they'll ever be as beautiful as a white woman because I keep saying it and they keep not believing me. So maybe I'm just wrong. But I'm gonna open up the floor and let this brother get in. I'm gonna tell it all coming to the panel. I'm gonna read this super chat real quick, then I'm gonna give him the flow. Shout out to No Placeholder again. He says, we know you all think we look good. So what, Ninja? and you know what? I understand. You know what? I've talked to women, so I've definitely gotten that as well. So what that we think they look good? So what? Okay, it is what it is. They don't care at all. So if I compliment you and it don't mean anything, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, that's just how I think. Sometimes maybe I'm wrong. It's been a lot of consistent rejection of the idea that black women look good from black women. So maybe I'm just wrong. But let me let this other brother get in. I'm going to tell it all. You got the flow, brother. You're on mute if you don't know it. I'm going to tell it all.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right, yeah. So before I begin, can you kind of guide me a little bit? So why black women will never be beautiful as white women? In whose eyes, if you can kind of tell me that, in their own eyes or in the world's eyes?
I guess anybody's eyes, because they keep telling us they not.
Okay, so when it comes to beauty, right? We definitely got to give black women grace. And because this is a structural issue, this is an economic issue, and more important, this is a dominance issue. So when we look at history, right, and how other countries have kind of dominated the world, when they dominated the world, when Europeans dominated the world, they made the white woman the standard of beauty. In every culture, in every country, Asia, Africa, South America, whatever, white women are the standard of beauty. That's why you see skin lightening cream is the number one cosmetic sold globally, right? Globally. It's in India, it's in Asia, it's in South America, whatever. It's the number one thing sold globally. So when you're talking to a little black girl when you're young, you're saying that, oh, I think you're pretty, you're cute, whatever, right? Of course she's not going to believe you. Because number one, her mother tells her, don't be looking wild around white people. And that's when I talk about how black people have a love or an affinity for white people, these are the things I want to talk about that we're too ashamed to admit. But you got your mom talking about don't act this kind of way in front of white people. Don't be looking wild in front of white people, meaning that your natural features are considered wild. The perms, the weaves, and stuff like that you get forced upon as a child. Then when you go to the movies and you see the love interest is always a white woman. So one person telling her I'm beautiful versus her family versus TV versus news and magazines, right? So we have to give them grace because this has been structural and systematic to make her feel that she's not as pretty as. And it even goes beyond black women, goes to Asian women too, because Asian women will tell you the same thing. White women are the most beautiful. They will tell you that in Asia. So we got to kind of give them grace here, because it's structural. It is systematically designed to target and give her a sense of what is it? Insecurities.
Interesting. I let you go anywhere you wanted to go with it. And I'm gonna say for any other panelists, yeah, y'all can go anywhere you want to go with it because I think it'll make for a more interesting conversation. Now I'm gonna say this, brother. I hear what you say. I'm not gonna discount what you said because I do get what you said. Now, I'm gonna say if I'm telling a woman she's beautiful and she refuses to believe me, and I'm the man interested in her, especially, and I don't have to be the man interested in her because I tell relatives they look beautiful. I tell people I went to church with they look beautiful. Mm-hmm. I've told coworkers they look beautiful. Now, I'm not suggesting anybody tell a coworker at this point they look beautiful. I don't think it's worth the trouble. Okay. Yeah, I'm talking about in the past. In the past, I've told coworkers they look beautiful. If I keep telling you you look beautiful and you don't believe me, at some point I got to just say maybe I'm wrong.
No, but
you is.
But Roger, according to your own account, let's go back to you when you're 13, right? You're a child, right? So her mind is not fully developed yet. So you, a 13-year-old boy, telling her that she's attractive versus the world telling her something different. Come on, bro.
Interesting. We're going to get more into it, but I got two more guests that came up. So I'm going to let them get a crack at it. Black Guru, you have the flow. We're going to get Inspired Truth right after.
All right.
Hey, Roger, thanks for having me. I'm going to introduce, we get the prelude. One of the best things to happen culturally to and for Black men was hip hop. Hip hop improved or compelled Black men to don their more natural appearance, their more naturally black appearance. If you're a certain age, you recall there was a lot of fancy shit going on with how brothers were presenting themselves prior to the ascent of hip hop. You had to be light skinned with good hair or curls, either real or manufactured. It was a lot of cross blending gender blending going on. Even some of our favorite performers, Prince, Michael Jackson. It was a lot of very effeminate stuff going on before the ascent of hip hop, because hip hop brought in a grittier, more true to the ground sort of black man messaging and cultural impetus. I'm saying this to say that, to be fair, black men did some of this shit too until not that long ago. James Brown, all the conk in the hair and all of the perm and the superfly thing. We were doing a lot of faggoty shit back then. And it was all largely to emulate the appearance of white men to some degree, to a large degree. That's why El DeBarge, for example, was so popular in the 80s. So I'm saying this to say we came out of that, and we had a great and powerful and potent influence to come out of that. And I think black women need to find that as well, because you can never beat somebody else at their own game. You'll never beat white women or Latino women or Asian women at their own beauty game. You can only be the very best you can be with what you have. And just accept that, come what may. And I'll end my opening statement, I guess, with that somewhat indirectly, not necessarily relevant comment, but yeah.
And I just want to embellish on Uru's point, because let's not forget and respect, power to he's a great man, but before Malcolm X was Malcolm X, he was conking his shit. Red was conking his shit. And on top of that, I apologize for delicate ears, but if Michael Jackson went to jail, he would have been a passing round and niggas would not feel gay about it. And I'll leave it there.
Okay, I'm tempted to say some stuff.
They wouldn't mess with Mike up in there. They wouldn't mess with Mike up in there.
Mike would have been the pass around.
Oh man!
No, they wouldn't mess with Mike.
Let me get Inspired Truth in, and we also got Meech Almighty in. So let me Inspired Truth, get your opening statement in, then Meech Almighty, get yours in right after. Go ahead, Inspired.
All right. Peace to you, Raj. Peace to the chat. Peace to the brothers on the panel. I hope all y'all having a great day. Let me see if I could try to land this plane real quick in these 2 minutes that I have. I'm not going to trim around the edges. I'm just going to get straight to the point and straight to the heart of it. You got three things operating at the same time. You've got status, you've got social programming, and then you have prestige mapping. So a lot of what we end up dealing with is we end up with the women kind of projecting what's going on with them onto us. We don't get the status of our women for the most part, so we're not really, for the most part, chasing status. They, on the other hand, kind of do. So they end up taking all of these different like status symbols that they're presented with in media and imagery and all of those different things, and they end up kind of coming up with like a prestige map about this is valued over that. And that doesn't really necessarily reflect the same for Black men. Like we are basically attracted to Black women aesthetically. That's pretty much the same for basically most races of men. Like they're primarily attracted to, for the most part, their own. And that's that's what occurs. And so when you talk about like, hey, we see you as attractive, like it doesn't land the same way because they don't really acknowledge our status like that. It's like, oh, okay, it's just you're telling me that I'm attractive, like so much. So we end up with kind of like this gaslighting and this kind of asymmetry at the same time. Like like you'll say, hey, I like natural hair. Meaningless. Brad says I like natural hair. It means the world. Like, I mean, it's all kind of just still revolving around status, and then it kind of like gaslighting you as if that's not what's going on. And I'll land my plane there.
All right, appreciate it. All right, Meech Almighty, great to see you back. Great to see you back. You got the flow, my brother.
Hey, what's going on, folks? Hey, I agree with a lot of what's been said, but I also have this to say against that. Black men, when most of us, if you look at it socially, people would in general say, well, they never had anybody to inspire them into having a hard work ethic, into putting in, and I mean generally, not these twos and fews, into putting all their effort as they can into school. And however you end up because of that, they say, fix it. After a while, they say, we don't want to hear excuses anymore. And it's the same thing with BWs. Whatever issues you have, especially with us, it is primarily your problem, your responsibility to fix your issues and not fight us against it when we're trying to talk to you about it. Just because I'm a black man. After a while, we don't want to hear that anymore. I can't make you feel better about you. First off, you have to want to feel better about what you are. You have to look at blackness as being something worthy of your desire. And it seems like they don't. Black men that wore perms, yes, we did. We wore curls, yes, we did. That hasn't happened since the 90s. Early 90s at that. What's their excuse now? We overcame it. We almost got more grief than anybody in this country. And we didn't have any choice but to overcome it. And even right now, the things that come against us primarily, we still say, here's what I say. If somebody throws feces in your face, right? We're talking about the system. They throw feces in your face. Are you going to wait there for them to wipe it off, or are you going to go wipe it off yourself? That's a question for you, Roger.
I'm going to do it for myself.
Okay, and now check this out. Let's say Meech waits there. You wiping the feces off your face. Meech stays there with the feces on his face. How are you going to look at Meech? It's been a decade, Meech. It's been 20 years, Meech. You going to leave it there? Okay, then. I'm not giving them no excuse, because every time we turn around about something, they're talking about they own more businesses than us, they make more money than us, they're better educated than us, they're more moral than us, and all this BS. I'm not hearing it, because there's more information out there now for them to know what happened to them than there has ever been, and they never even bring that up unless they're going to use it against us. I don't want to hear we already know all that stuff. We know all the other stuff. Guess what? The system ain't never been as hard on them as it's been on us. Even socially. You go to a park, a white man and a black woman getting into it, it'll be that white man and that black woman getting into it. A black man and a white man getting into it, 4 or 5 other white men coming to break the shit up or help that white man. So they're not finna sit over here when we already got the most pressure on our shoulders, and then offload more of their pressure on our shoulders that we didn't even put on their shoulders. We didn't make you not feel good about being a black woman, because most of us do prefer natural hair. That's passing on our image. Why would we want to pass on another man's image? That's all I have to say about that. I mean, that's my opening and my closer. I'll listen to y'all, man. I'm going to go ahead and hop off, though.
All right.
Long live the habitual line steppers.
Hey, appreciate
Yeah, I would like to reply to that first, if I may. So I think that we're looking at now in adulthood, but there's things that build up to that trauma through their formative years, adolescent years, teenage years, and their development years. I think it's very unreasonable to tell Black women, okay, now that you're 18 or whatever, now you just got to get over it. I think that's really unreasonable. I think that's unreasonable for anybody, even for men, to tell somebody that. I think that's very cold-hearted and callous. But nonetheless, and then on top of that, if we say, okay, you fix it, but then you want to be the leader, you want them to follow you. So that means that if you want that, that means that it's up to Black men to fix this. and I'll leave it there.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
I'm gonna
So
call the flag on that play. Go ahead. I'll get back to that later. I'll get back to that. Go ahead.
I agree that here's the problem, and I've said this before. The problem with black people is that black women have a lot of issues that black men could fix, but they are hell bent on not allowing you to fix. And the system will punish you if you attempt to fix it for them. So that's the real dilemma, because women don't fix problems, men fix problems. Men fix problems, and men even fix problems with women. That's history. That's history. Men create some shit, fix some shit, and then women maintain it after men have fixed it. But men have to fix it first. Well, what happens when the men are not in this white hegemonic system, white gynocratic, this white supremacist gynocratic system? What happens when the men are disabled from fixing? Well, the shit don't get fixed. It won't ever get fixed. Truth told.
all right.
Inspired to go ahead. I'm gonna get in after you.
All right, so like we kind of just glossed over a little bit of something that the brother said. I want to make sure that doesn't just kind of like go off to the wayside. Like he brought up like some of the racialized myths about us, like this whole idea that, oh, black women have more businesses than black men. Like that's a fallacy. That's not true. That's false. You'll have some other things like the deadbeat black dad trope or whatever. And that keeps on getting, perpetuated. Like we'll go to the numbers and then we'll say like, nah, that ain't really like what you're trying to make it out to be. It ain't some most of us type of deal at all. Like it's like a tiny fraction. Like all of these things, we keep thinking that, okay, if we just disprove this, if we just disprove that, if we just prove that this is a myth, if we prove that is a myth, if we say, hey, look, these things are not actually true, that somehow that'll turn the tables and turn things around, and it never does. They just keep saying the same stuff over and over again because at the end of the day, it just comes right back to status. It's not about objective reality anymore. It's about feeling.
Now I'm gonna say shout out to No Placeholder. Now he's talking about what people were wearing. He said it has been a decade, and yes, it has been much more than a decade about how men were wearing this and that. But I'm gonna say this: even when men were going out getting their hair messed with and getting their hair straightened and all that, I never heard anything. I never saw any representation, even in the past, that when men were getting their hair straightened, like a James Brown did and all that, that we ever thought we looked ugly. To my understanding, there was no period of time where black men had a thing that we just thought we didn't look good. Now, we tried this and we tried that, sure. There's, entertainers did some things here and there, sure. But at no point in time have I ever heard black men thought poor of themselves based on the way they look.
Now we gotta be. I think it's pretty obvious, and I love him dearly. I'm one of the biggest fans of his that has ever existed. I think Michael Jackson thought he was ugly.
Yep.
And he thought proximity to whiteness was the way to go. And I love him. I commemorate his memory. I think he's the greatest ever. But he obviously had some white affiliation issue. He obviously did. Because they say it was the vitiligo, but the vitiligo caused him to cut off his nose and to straighten his hair. I don't think the vitiligo did that.
I agree, but the exception is not
the
rule.
I want to say this really quickly because we're not being honest. So we all know Coming to America, and we all love Coming to America. Eric LaSalle, with the jerry curl, the white-looking hair, was the pretty boy. Eddie Murphy, fresh off the boat, nigga, was the ugly dude, right? It was your classic story of the ugly duckling getting the girl. That was the subtext in that movie. And if you disagree with me, you're not being honest.
You know what? I've seen Coming to America multiple times. I never considered him the ugly guy. It was funny. He was African. He was the foreign guy. But it never came into my mind.
It was actually presented as as Eric LaSalle, his character was the rich guy, and and Hakeem or whatever was the poor guy because they didn't know he was actually a prince. And so
But
from what I saw was he was wealthier and higher status, and that's why her father wanted him to get with the Eric LaSalle's character and not with the worker
but
who was actually a prince. That's the dichotomy I saw, not the pretty guy and the ugly guy. But
I saw the ugly duckling dichotomy because the father, yeah, I would agree with it, but at the end they rectify that because when James Amos, because I forgot the dude's name, but James Amos was like, the nigga got his own money. He has, I mean, his face is on his own money. Like he was, man, that dude was about to come in his pants, right? But when it came down to like the girls and picking Eric LaSalle over the other guy, even when they knew that it was Eddie Murphy had money, it was still the ugly duckling versus the pretty boy.
But I'm gonna say that's an interesting interpretation. I never caught that interpretation. To me, it was about poor and rich, not ugly and attractive. I thought it was about poor and rich, and I'm just saying that from my honest opinion. I'm gonna say I do remember something about Michael Jackson having some kind of issues, and you could see based on the way he moved that Michael Jackson had some issues based on what he was taught about white people versus black people. I would agree that based on what I've seen from Michael Jackson, I agree that he definitely had an issue. But I also will agree that most brothers, even though we saw Mike have that as a problem, we didn't take that on as a problem. That was Mike's problem. It wasn't our problem. It was Mike's problem.
It was
Okay.
exception.
Yeah. So a little bit different than women.
But again, see, y'all young. See, because I remember all the brothers trying to get the hair and trying to do all that kind of shit. I remember a lot of fancy ass behavior in the 80s coming from brothers. I remember brothers trying to look like Prince and all that kind of shit. I remember that. I remember motherfuckers with skin lightening back then. I remember that.
Who were they trying to?
Niggas was doing it too, not just women.
Who were they trying to appeal to?
Well, they were trying to be white, or they were trying to be white, and they thought it would impress women, and they sought some proximity to whiteness. They did.
Which women? Which women?
No. Even in Jamaica and South Africa today, niggas bleach their skin. Chris Brown.
All right, look, guys, y'all trying to make some good points that I would like to deal with, but I got new guys that done popped up. I'm trying to let them get the mic. No, I'm saying, brother, we got 3 guys that done popped up.
No problem.
Gotta let them get in.
Can't step on them all.
Tunnel Runner, he's gonna just talk about his Latin chick. We know he hates black women.
Man, if he got some coconut pancakes, we good. Okay.
Gotta let him have his uninterrupted. Yeah.
All right. We got Tunnel Runner, we got the Great Black Reset in the building, and we got Bronk in the house. So let's let these guys get in, then we can continue to flow with it. All right, go ahead, Tunnel Runner.
Yes, today we had omelets. We had some fresh bread, arepas. That's the bread they make in Colombia. Hot chocolate and coffee. Very good, very pleasant, nice day. And yeah, I heard what hot sauce is saying, but it's gonna have to be 2 generations of black men being married to black women, growing up these black girls for them to love themselves. Otherwise, it's not happening because black men are not there in the house, and these black women are not telling these girls how beautiful they are. And when you tell these black women they're beautiful, they looking at their mothers are telling them they're looking for something from you. They have a negative attitude. You tell a woman of other races that she looks good, she just gives you a smile and keeps it going. But black women, you tell them they look beautiful and they looking, what's the problem? What's the scam? The negativity is it's so strong because I mean, the sisterhood is just they just not working, man. It ain't working what they're doing. They have to find love in themselves, and they have to be, as Black Guru was saying, the best looking black woman is a black woman without her hair extensions, without her being her whole self. You can't fake it. We all know what's going on. And I'll let that be my opening statement.
Okay.
Let me
Great. Well,
let me
all
real quick.
right, go ahead, Inspired.
All right, real quick, because I got to just put this one thing out there. Like, in my observation, like when brothers were wearing like the S curl, like I can't really say about like the Jerry curl because that's a little bit before I can really get to. But the S curl stuff, that was all about appealing to black women, man. That was about getting status with them. Y'all go ahead with it.
Okay. Great Black Reset. You got it. Great Black Reset. You on mute.
He's getting his Jericho done, Roger.
Hey, Roger, I'll take this
That
time.
ain't That's messed up, man. That's messed up.
Inspired. Even if what inspired say is true. Okay, so how's that any better?
It's
How's that
still
any
bad,
better?
but it's still bad. We moved on from that, thankfully, but it does inform what was actually like going on. Like, because it's important because like if you're going to actually procreate and get somewhere into the next generation, you got to appeal to the women that are there. Like, there's a necessity for that. Like, I could see it out of necessity, not like out of some internalized, I believe that whiteness is better type of thing. That's a whole nother story.
I'm just trying to get on these hoes, bro. I'm just trying to get on these hoes. Uh, but Great Black Reset, you just went out and came back, so I get taking you were having some technical difficulty. Go right ahead,
All
brother.
right. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Mike
sir.
check.
We hear you. We hear you
All
now.
right. All right. I apologize for the beeping. I got something going on. But some of us are not being honest today, so I came to bring some honesty up here.
Oh
Appreciate
man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
appreciate Uru for his wise words. Bro, I remember Jerry Curl. I remember the S curl. I remember the Duke kicks, and the wave caps to get waves in your head. There wasn't none of that natural. Wasn't none of that natural. I remember us telling guys that had straight hair, they had engine in their family and all this other kinds of stuff. We were trying to be white men. And we need to be honest about that, bro. We need to be honest about that. Sammy Sosa trying to be a white man. Michael Jackson trying to be a white man. Bro, this happened in our community. It was for real. We were straightening our hair because we thought having kinky hair was not acceptable. We went through the same thing the women went through. They just going through it for a longer period of time. And if we're gonna be honest about what they're going through, we need to be honest about what we went through. We wanted to be white men. So if you want to help them fix it, you got to start from a premise of being honest. Yeah, we went through that, but this is how we got through. But if you're going to lie about what we went through, you can't help them go through the same thing. We wanted to be white men. I remember that. The paper bag test and all that kinds of stuff. We wanted to be white men. We
Okay.
suffer from the same thing.
I
I'm going
don't
to
know
land my
about this
plane.
weed business.
Yeah, I would say interesting. If y'all ain't never thought, if y'all thought I had an echo chamber,
I
y'all
mean,
listen to that. I clearly
why do
don't.
we
Okay.
assume that black women would be the only people who would want to be white? Why do you assume that when we all are being exposed to this shit and we've been exposed to it for 400 years collectively?
I mean, all I can say is if you know, I really ain't want to. I'm just joking right now to a certain degree. If y'all think white men look good, that's fantastic. But
Let me ask
I
you
ain't never
something,
Well,
seen
Roger.
that
if
for
It's
I
not
them.
about whether you think white men look good.
No, I said
It's
I was
about
joking,
the
Black woman.
status of whiteness.
No,
I,
Yeah, it's about
I,
the
I,
status of whiteness.
well,
Yeah.
I
Okay, well
did say
now,
I was. Hold on, y'all. I did say I was joking. I did say I was joking. Bronx still has to get in. He ain't made an opening statement, so
let
let
me
me
ask
let
you
Bronx.
something really quickly. Really quickly.
Go ahead, but after you, got to get Bronx
All
in.
right. So Black Guru, I know we have our differences. The Great Reset, you're an asshole, but today, gentlemen, I'm glad to be on your side because I feel vindicated. Because when I told y'all that niggas love white people and live around them and shit, everybody was on my neck. But at the end of the day, what Black Reset said, what Black Guru said, and what I'm saying is the truth. And back then, niggas wanted to be white, and that's just the God honest truth. That is the God honest truth, right? And you know the crazy shit is the niggas up here that's talking about no we didn't. Y'all niggas are dating white, and that's all I gotta say.
So here we go.
Okay.
Shots
So
fired.
so
Shots fired.
so so we have to
Women
we
do
have
not
to
hate it.
we have to we have to
Oh,
make sure we're adding
oh,
nuance to everything, right? We have to make sure we're adding nuance to everything. Don't blanket it, right? Okay, so us having gotten perms and curls was because women liked perms and curls. The same reason so many niggas is getting tattoos. The same reason so many niggas is sagging their pants. The same reason so many niggas started wearing skinny jeans and anything, all that. What do they call it off of the Chappelle show that Charlie Murphy said about the androgynous dressing? Because women liked it. It ain't because they were trying to be white.
yeah, it's
It's
for real.
because women.
They
It's because women liked it, and dudes do what women dudes will fish with the bait they believe is best to get what they want. Right. So I just wanted to clear up a couple of things earlier about what I said, the responses to what I said earlier, because I really do have to go. When I say that women need to get it together, I'm not saying that we shouldn't help them at all. What I'm saying is this: we shouldn't be trying to convince them to stop fighting our offer for assistance. I'm not gonna fight you to let me help you. It's already enough that I'm willing to help you. If you're gonna fight me on it, because we're supposed to be a team, that's what everybody else is doing. That's what racism is, right? Them working as a team for their group, for resources. I'm not going to sit up here and fight my teammate. I won't be on your team or you won't be on my team. It's that simple. If that sounds cold and callous, well, you know what? Every damn other group does it cold and callous. That's why we're hurting the most, right? At some damn point, you got to put your damn foot down. The second thing is, I didn't want to inspire truth because he brought it up. I didn't want him to think that I believe that they're the most educated and got the most business, earn the most money. I don't believe that. What I'm saying is, if the mouth that speaks like that, which is coming from them, should also be, oh, we because essentially what they're saying is, hey, we pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. You're talking like you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps when it's anything related to what the white dude said you need to be doing. The moment we sit up here and say something, all of a sudden you have no idea what to do, or you think we're gaslighting you because we say you like your natural hair. Imagine that shit. We're wearing our hair natural, but we don't want yours natural. It sounds silly. What I'm saying is, I do believe in being callous with this because that's why I came up with the phrase, bless them with your absence. If your absence is the only thing you can force on anybody in this world, legally, you can force your absence on somebody and make them miss you. Because I've said this, if you give them 24 months of really seeing what it's like without us, watch it change. Because they keep believing the grass is greener on the other side. And as long as we keep on, even if it's out of goodwill, if we keep on trailing behind them, try to help them, fend the things off, when we're not getting any cooperation in return, then guess what we're doing? We're burning up our own damn resources. They're acting like petulant children at this point.
All right, I gotta get the super chat in. Then we're gonna get it to Bron because he ain't had a chance to speak yet. Shout out to there. I said it. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. He says, Murray's Murray's pomade. I had that Caesar Connect, but now I got a bald spot. And I'm gonna say this, y'all. I'm going to agree, based on what I know, that when black men did stuff, they did it to attract women. That's what I found out to be true about men in general. We do stuff to attract women. That's a very big part of what men naturally do. Okay? People who become gangsters did it to attract women a lot of the times. And I've asked. And well, that's what the hoes like. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
There's been so many things that people have done, and I've asked men, why did you do it? And they say that's what the hoes like. Now they may
Yeah.
not say it in that phrase, but that's what they tell me because I done been involved with all types of men in all types of situations. Been involved with mentor programs and all kinds of stuff. I've talked to people, and they usually tell me because that's what the hoes like. Why you get that particular car? That's what the hoes like. It is what it is. So men do a lot for women. It just is what it is. But I'm gonna let stuff flow here. Bronk, go ahead and get in, and I'm gonna get into some other stuff.
All right. What up, Roger? What up, chat? What up, panel? Man, y'all cooking. Who was that speaking last, man? Because he said a lot of stuff that, man, on point. You give a woman 24 months of your absence. A lot can happen. A lot can happen. Hey, I want to say this too before I start my opening statement. Black Reset, man. Since you done got married, man, you been making a lot of sense. Since you done really got married, you been
Really?
making a lot of sense.
Really?
It's like since you tied the knot, bro, you've been speaking a lot of truth lately, man. So that's probably all you needed, man. You probably just needed to get you a good woman to sit your ass down to her, man, because you cooking, man. You been cooking. So
Well,
shout out
thank
to
you,
Great
brother.
Black Reset's wife. You've made a very positive
God.
change in the short time that you've been married, and I just want
I
to
appreciate
congratulate you too.
Make this about black man. Make this about
it. Thank you, brother. Damn.
Man, look. These girls had us wearing tall tees with a tall T sticker on it, the oversized T-shirts with the sticker still on it. They had us wearing spinner chains, man. Remember when they started putting the spinners on the cars and then they came out with the chains and they had the spinners on the chain? We was wearing that
Oh,
for
I
these
remember
hoes,
that.
man. We was wearing that for these hoes. Bro, we was out here rocking oversized NBA jerseys with Jabos, bro. We've been doing so much shit to get all these hoes' attention from a young age. Us too, as men. So I agree with a lot of with what a lot of us being said early on because of the fact that I remember being a kid getting a texturizer. My big brother used to put relaxers in my hair, man. My head used to be on fire. Just trying to get my hair straight and have them waves busting like this. Man, we used to put finger waves in our hair, bro. Finger waves. Taking a comb and just running it through our hair to try to have 360 waves, man. So I agree with a lot of what's being said early on. There was so much that we even did to try to get people's attention and try to just I guess some people are saying look white. I don't think it was really just trying to look white per se. It was really just trying to get more of them hoes.
All right. Now I'm gonna jump in and say, hey, it is what it is. I hear y'all bringing up these different little things, but I'm gonna go back to what I was saying earlier, man. Look, man, if I call you beautiful and you don't accept that you beautiful, this ain't really my issue. You have said that you ugly, and at some point in time, it's nothing wrong with me accepting that you're ugly. So if you say you ugly, regardless of what I say, it's who gets to trump who? See, I can't trump you to you. I can trump you to I can personally, trump you to me, but I can't trump you to you. If you believe you're ugly, you're ugly. Uh, Anybody who believes they're ugly are going to do things to prove that they're ugly. What we think manifests in our actions. So I don't want no ugly woman. So therefore, I just don't see how a black woman can be as beautiful as a white woman when she is convinced that that white woman is better off than her. And I do believe some of this got something to do. It has something to do with the fact that a lot of black women have you know become bigger because you talk about the obese black woman. She don't care no more. That's what I think that is. She get to a point in her life where she just don't care. So I might as well eat up everything and get big because I'm ugly. She's convinced she's ugly. And I don't know what age it starts from. Because there's even fat kids out here. And I know some moms will try to overfeed their kids so their kids will be fat too. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just a mother quote unquote trying to, y'all know they say a woman trying to protect her child by doing something that harms her child. Well, that's maybe her trying to protect her child from being let down. We gonna make you fat while you a kid. So when you grow up, you ain't gonna even have to worry about no boys liking you. And you'll never have to worry about a letdown of your heart being broken because they'll never be interested in you in the first place. Maybe
Yeah,
that's what they doing.
yeah, it's an amazing thing how sometimes the inside can affect the outside, and the inside can be more important than the outside. It can be like, oh, that's a beautiful woman, but she has a mental parasite. I gotta stay away from that. Like it's really kind of like that in a way. Like it's a contagion, a contagion surrounding like a perception of status.
No, I think we're being too glib when we're talking like this, and we're not really understanding the gravitas of what we're talking about with beauty and women. Because first of all, let's look at it from a cosmetic support point of view or beauty industry. Because I work in the beauty industry, right? And in the beauty industry, part of marketing is promoting and encouraging insecurities. Now, if you add that on top of white supremacy, this is where racism really affects black women. How we are persecuted through white supremacy. White supremacy really persecutes black women through beauty. Between movies, between nursery rhymes and storybooks, right? As dark as Ugly or Wicked and Fair, Snow White is fair and beautiful, right? It starts there. We can even see it in the doll testing, where they ask black girls, 5 and 6 years old, what are the prettier dolls, and they hold up the white ones. What are the uglier dolls, and they hold up the black ones, right? You cannot have this conversation without talking about white supremacy and how structural it is and how it attacks black women at the core, in their formative ages. It's not a parasite.
Yeah.
It's not.
Let me say what I saw too, because I think black men in the entertainment business in particular contributed to this, because I remember hip hop, uh, like I remember like the video, like initially you would see music videos with regular looking black women, mostly from New York, because most of hip hop was New York, but they look like regular girls. Like they all look like, to various degrees better or worse looking, but they all look like MC Light essentially, you know. But then, like, and it was the West Coast boys, I think, mostly. Although Jay-Z did it too, where there was this lightening of the female love interest in the videos. They've started to become more racially ambiguous, long, uh, sort of looser curled hair and fairer skinned and more, less African featured females. And I think that had an influence on Hype Williams, the famed music video producer, somewhat famously featured those kinds of looks in videos. And I think that it kind of permeated into the culture to some degree. It got into their mothers, because their mothers were coming up in the 80s and the 90s, and it spread to daughters and at this point even granddaughters, where there was this greater necessity for this, like I say, the hair and the lashes and just a lot of sort of garish kind of stuff. I'm not saying it's all black men's fault, because I think sometimes we get very simplistic when we talk about these issues. I'm not saying it's all black men's fault, but I think black men, particularly in the entertainment business, and in particular those West Coast dudes, started to sell a particular kind of image of how black women should look or be featured, that was black, more black-ish than black. And I think that's part of what happened here. Part of it. Not all of it, but part of it.
Where's the money at the top? Like that's a consideration as well. And this whole idea, if it's self-replicating, then yeah, it's kind of a parasite, my man. Like this, and I gotta go and get back to some stuff, but like, don't let them off the hook, y'all.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say, look, ain't it somebody's own fault about how they perceive themselves? I mean, is that not a real thing? I perceive me the way I choose to perceive me. Somebody else can perceive me differently, but you can't tell me I don't look good. I mean, I guess you technically can tell it to me. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna believe it. Now, if I'm telling somebody they look beautiful and they just don't accept that they look beautiful, how's that my fault? Now, I get what y'all saying as far as you
I
got
think the
society and
most
all that.
important person in terms of how a girl sees herself at a foundational level, especially from a beauty standpoint and how she feels she should be adored, is going to be a father. The father, or lack thereof, is going to set the tone for all of that going forward. But then that girl is going to go in a world where beauty is their primary mode of competition. Our looks are not our primary mode of competition.
That's very true.
Most time we get up, we wash our ass, maybe we shave, maybe we don't, whatever, we comb our hair, that's it. We don't think about, I'm actually competing aesthetically. We don't think about that. Women think about that every fucking waking day of their life until they die. That's why you'll have an 80, 90-year-old grandmother with the wig and all the stuff going on. They think about that until they die. Well, what happens when you're in an environment that tells you just by your existence, you should be hated and reviled, and at best, you're going to be second, third, fourth, fifth place in terms of the aesthetic appeal? Is going to have an effect. And like I said, there used to be a time when black men, like someone mentioned earlier, were very supportive and promotive of natural black beauty. That's what the great John Johnson and those guys tried to do with Ebony and Jet with the black beauty, and a lot of things in the Miss Black America programs and stuff like that. Black men were very supportive of promoting black beauty. Now, a lot of things have happened that has taken away our influence in those areas. A lot of things have happened that have taken away our influence in those areas, both in terms of families, as well as communities, as well as business. Many of the businesses used to be, for example, beauty and media companies. Those were black-owned companies, for example. So you had black men controlling those images. Those companies got sold off, bought off, et cetera, whatever, bought out by L'Oreal, et cetera, whatever, and they don't have that same pro-black, if you will, agenda.
Okay, now I'm gonna say, I've said plenty of times that black women's beauty is just, well, a woman's beauty is like a man's ability to work and earn money. I understand it's a very consuming thing. It's a very big part of anybody's life. Now, again, if I'm telling you you're beautiful and you don't accept it from me, at the end of the day, I have to come to a certain conclusion of myself. You're not beautiful. You're ugly. Because if I'm telling you you're beautiful and you won't accept that you're beautiful, yes, you are ugly. It just is what it is. Because now you're an annoying person that I don't want to be around. Who wants to be around ugly people? Nobody usually. That's not even a normal thing. And you believing that you're ugly is going to have something to do with how you manifest your personality, how you move about the world, and all kinds of things. So you're convinced that you're ugly. I have to accept that you're a person who gets to decide that you're ugly. But once you make that decision that you're ugly, I got to accept that you're ugly no matter what the package look like. So now I don't want to be bothered with you, and I'm going to have to agree. I can't convince you that you're beautiful if that's not what you want for yourself. So at the end of the day, it's your fault that you ugly, because that's what you choose to believe.
This is crazy.
I understand society puts a thing out there, but at the end of the day, we are living in that same society. And when them people did their research on what was going on, they found out men like women of their own group more than anybody else. That's what they found out. We live in the same society. I get we don't care about beauty the way they do, but we had to overcome other things. And we have to overcome that. Ain't no sympathy about us overcoming anything we got to. So at the end of the day, if you can't get over the fact that I think you beautiful, or if you say me thinking you beautiful is not important, you're not important enough for me to be worried about this. You just ugly now. And I don't think black women will ever be as attractive as white women based on them. Not based on what we say. I have to accept black women right. We can't make them think they're beautiful. They got to do. It's an internal thing.
That is not true. That is not true.
How can I make somebody think they beautiful?
By making them a standard of beauty, just like the white man did. White men made
white women have never been the standard of beauty.
Yes, they are. The white women absolutely are the standard of beauty.
They are the standard of beauty for black women.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, white women are the standard of beauty for all women worldwide.
And go ahead and finish, because I'm gonna say how that's wrong. Go ahead and finish.
No, it's 100% true. What are you talking about? Right? If it wasn't true, skin white and cream would be the #1 selling cosmetic around the world. If it wasn't true, Asian women would not be breaking their necks to get double eyelids like white women. If it wasn't true, people would be getting nose recorrective surgeries on their nose. If it wasn't true, the economics prove you wrong.
No, I'm going to say they actually, the truth came out already, and that's the thing. Now I'm going to tell you how the truth came out, because the Dating Divide did research on what people did privately, what they were doing in their own homes, when nobody was looking. And the standard of beauty for a black man is a black woman. The standard of beauty for a white man is a white woman. The standard of beauty for an Asian man is an Asian woman. Everybody likes their own group the most when it comes to men. Therefore, the standard of beauty for women is something else. See, what a black woman's standard of beauty is not my standard of beauty, because black men will like black women. Black women, their standard of beauty is white women, because that's what they choose for their standard to be. It ain't ours. We never told them it should be there. They don't even care that it's not ours. That's a them thing. So the white woman cannot be the standard of beauty if the men don't see her as the standard of beauty. Because all the men like their own group first.
Listen, just because all the men like their own women first doesn't mean they don't like white women. You can like both at the same time. And again, when we look at the economics on how much money is being spent on plastic surgery, reconstructive surgery, etc., white women are the standard of beauty. Just because, okay, yeah, I prefer black women first, doesn't mean I do not find white women attractive. It does not say
a standard of beauty doesn't mean everybody has to, find you attractive. But at the end of the day, they're not a standard of beauty but for men. They're a standard of beauty for women. The women want to be white women. The men will like women that look like them.
Men of all races find white women attractive.
That's true, but you can say that about any race of woman.
Okay, I would say this. Men find white women the second most attractive after their own race.
If they're second, they ain't the standard. The standard is first. Everybody likes their own. Everybody likes their own.
If all races of men find white women attractive, that makes them the standard of beauty. all races of men do not find black women attractive. All
Roger,
races
stop.
do not find.
Roger, stop making me agree with hot sauce.
No,
Just
I'm
stop
not.
it.
I'm not,
Just
because
stop
you
it.
know what? You know what? It's men that find black women attractive. Now, there's a lot of social economic reasons they don't end up with those women. Because again, at the end of the day, a lot of white people want to have a white baby. That does not mean they don't find black women attractive. They sure will play with them. They sure will have sex
The
with them and
ranking,
throw them away.
the ranking is white, Latino white, Asian, then whatever, then black. Other men find white women attractive as well.
Look, I'm
Don't
not.
find
I'm not gonna say that other people don't like white women more than black women. I'll give you that. But at the end of the day, amongst men, the standard is your own. That's just the reality of it.
That's
Now,
right.
amongst women, the standard is white women. That's their own fault.
so Roger. So hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, let's go into your theory, right? So everybody prefer
Well,
their own.
hold on. Before you go into that, let me say this because Creator just came up. I gotta let him get an opening statement in before you go into that because we're gonna have to answer whatever you about to propose. Okay. But shout out to Crumbling. He said, Roger Poor, I understand part of this is about getting clicks to get views, but this really is a terrible title in my humble opinion, right? No, this ain't about clicks to get views. This is about the reality, bro. Do you hear what's being said on the panel right now? You hear what's being I'm literally saying, yeah, I mean, look at the title. Why black women will never be as attractive as a white woman. And what's being argued right now?
Excellent title.
Bro, it's on point like a mug. I appreciate you being here, but brother, that title was on point because we literally about to have the argument of why white women are more attractive than black. It's literally about to go down. I
You really
paused it
just
to let
said it.
this guy, the creator, come in and get his opening statement. Like that's really what it is out here.
But you just said it. You just said by our standard, most men want they women, right? By most standards, most men want they women, right? But women want to look like other women. So this ain't us saying that, hey, you know what? If you straighten your hair out and you make your booty flatter, and if you see all the other races are doing what was desirable to us. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you might have been with your white woman. You know what I'm saying? You might have been with her, and it's okay. But she didn't have the cakes that your black woman had. She didn't have the fullness that your black woman had. So what did they do? They went and got the cakes. They start eating chicken wings and fried crab legs and bologna, right? Eating all the bullshit that we was eating, all the fructose corn syrup, Kool-Aid, and Doritos, and now look at them. They a whole different white woman now. They a whole different damn near species because they trying to match up and line up to our women. So our women, respectfully, is the standard right now for America and for women. White women would obviously be the standard, and like he said, for economical and social reasons, right? Because women, it's really crazy. Our women really signed themselves out the game. And like you said, our women, to them, they've signed them. I'm saying they signed themselves out the game, but I think Roger hit it on the head when he said that we find them attractive. They don't find themselves attractive. Therefore, they will never be attractive because they themselves took themselves out the game. It's not what we think or even the world. It's themselves. And until they say that, you know what, I do like my hair, even if it's a centimeter thick, right? I love myself, even if my butt is what it is. I love me. And then we, the men, right, just keep doing what we've been doing, is just supporting our women. All we want you to do is just be you, babe, without all that, without the butterfly eyelashes and the, you know what I'm saying, all the added, the snapping of the fingers and the attitude and the rudeness and the you know, the strong, you know, those things can be changed. And it was basically like that. I think Black Uru said it earlier, back in when hip hop was early, black women were beautiful. They were natural. We didn't like all this weave and wigs and all that shit that was left for granny. It wasn't like young girls went like it was a thing. Wasn't no young girls messing with no wig. It was like a you now it's crazy. Every woman wants to be, especially our women, take on this drag queen culture or this like it's not even womanness to me. It's more of a drag queen damn near culture. That's what they all look like. And prostitution. Now we can say we did that to a degree, but I'm gonna say now because even when we was going to certain, when we was men entertaining ourselves, there was a certain aesthetic that we even look for when we entertaining ourselves. And if it was over exaggerated, most men didn't want that. That's not like I don't want that. You just really want it natural. It usually comes down to natural. But hey, we're not gonna argue with the women if that's what they want. If you feel like that's what's gonna make you more beautiful is somebody else's hair and longer eyelashes and sparkly toes and sparkly fingers and ink and all right, hey, have at it. What the fuck can we say? Thank you, Roger. And my stage. Everybody let me up on stage, brothers.
Appreciate you, brother. And before we go into what you what you about to present, I'm telling it all. Champ just came up. So Champ, go ahead with your opening statement, brother.
Good morning. I hope you brothers are having a good Tuesday, especially if you're living in the state of Michigan with the Wolverines winning the national championship. Well, lots to unpack on this subject and everything else. I would argue that this is a generational thing that we've been going through, and that the beauty standard, it's always been white women and everything else, and our sisters have been trying to compete with white women for generations to come and everything else, whether it's colorism, whether it's skin bleaching and everything else that you see in places like in Jamaica or in African countries and even in India, whether it's, trying to look white, having long hair and want to have that magical mixed race baby and everything else. It's a generational thing and everything. And it's also affected a lot of us black men. And I remember at the time, back in the 1980s, everybody was talking about the Jerry curl and everybody was talking about Michael Jackson at that time. But do y'all remember when Prince was coming along back in the 1980s? The way how he was dressed up and everything else? We thought that was cool. And that we thought if we were dressed up like that, we were getting a lot of women and everything else. Because you remember when Prince was dressing up like that, I mean, you see him on front cover of Rolling Stones with him and Vanity or Apollonia and everything else. We thought acting like Prince was like an approval and everything else. That hey, maybe I can go ahead and get that nice looking lady in there. Who knows? I might be able to get that white girl because some white girls enjoyed a lot of Prince's music and everything else back in the day. So it goes through phases during the time period, whether it's the 80s, the pop music between Michael Jackson and Prince, and then the late 80s, early 90s, the Jerry curls, the West Coast music, the West Coast hip hop and everything else. When you see some of them brothers with all these sisters, wearing those little spandex or those biker shorts. I mean, let's face it, back then, when you were looking at those biker shorts the sisters were wearing, it was attractive. It really was. So that's my take. My take is a generational thing that we've been going through. And it's a phase that we've been trying to seek some type of form of validation from white folks and everything.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody's mentioned it yet, but I don't want to make
it. Can I respond now? Can I respond now?
Yeah, go ahead. Because we was waiting on we was waiting on him to get something in. We was waiting on the new people coming up. Look, all right, go ahead.
All right, so here's the situation. Even if people, so first of all, all women find white women the standard of beauty. So that's the numbers there. Number two, most men still find white women to be attractive. So even if the number one is your own individual race, by the math, if majority of men find white women, majority of men of all races find white women to be more attractive than any other race except their own, by the math, she's the standard of beauty. By the math.
I mean, I get what you're trying to do there, but ain't nobody other been second place and the standard at the same time.
Roger say 1 + 1 is 4. That's what
No,
he said.
I'm saying one. I'm saying 2 + 2 gonna equal 4 no matter what, because second place ain't never been the standard.
This attract Roger. This attract me. It's about total points.
If you calculate total points, she's the standard.
I won't argue about white women being people's second choice. I'll give you that. White women are probably the world's second choice. So what? Okay. At the end of the day, our women ain't white. They ain't never gonna be white. They can try to be that white woman all she want to be. She'll never achieve it. What difference does it make? If you can't accept that I'm telling you you're beautiful, so maybe I should just go get a white woman, because that's what the arguments kind of seem like is going. So she won't accept that she's beautiful, so I should go get a white woman? Because what else
No,
are we saying?
that's not what he's saying. He's saying the standard of beauty for men, white women come in second with all men except for white men.
And I'm
When it
saying
comes
second
to
ain't no standard.
and the part two is with women, they come in first with all women.
So if you calculate everything, she's first.
No, I get what you're saying.
That's basic math. That's basic math.
No, I get what you're saying. And based on that, since black women won't accept that they're beautiful, I should go get a white woman.
No, it's not saying that just because white women are the standard of beauty that other women are not beautiful. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying when it comes to the top spot, and then on top of that, how white supremacy attacks black women, that's why she have these beliefs.
Well, I'm saying you can't be second place and be a standard. So I still reject. You can say that they're the most accepted second place, and I will agree with you all day. But you can't be a standard in second place. And I'm saying
who's first place? Who's first place?
Well, hold on. First place is everybody's own. That's when it comes to men.
Everybody can't be first place, Roger.
When it comes to men, their standard is their own kind.
Let me ask you again. Who is the number one top choice?
Hold on. Look, I was trying to say to you, I agree that white women are the standard for women. I agree with that. That's clear. Because you can't tell a sister she's beautiful and mean something to her. So clearly they're the standard for women. White women is the standard for women. I say that all day long.
Let me ask you a clear, direct question. For everyone on the planet, who is the number one who's the number one beauty?
Black women.
Everyone. Who is it?
Black women.
No, yeah, because then it would be the majority. Who is the biggest group, which would end up being us? Because every man likes his own first.
So who is it then?
Black women.
Ain't there more black people in the world than anybody else?
Yeah.
No, there's more Asians. There's more Asians in the world than anybody else.
That's not true.
Yes, what are you talking
about? Put like this. I don't know.
We got almost 3 billion just in Africa.
Hold on, truth teller. Yeah. But I'm gonna just say this. I don't know who's the largest group. I believe it's black people. I'm gonna say the standard. I'm gonna say the standard is whoever the largest group is, and I'm gonna leave it at that because I'm gonna let truth teller get in. The standard is whoever the largest group is. Yeah, whoever got that background noise, y'all got to do something. Okay, I don't know who that is, but the standard is gonna be whoever the largest group of men are. The largest group of men. That's gonna be the standard. Because that's who's liked the most. Because men like their own group the most. All right. And before you go to Truth Teller, shout out to Inspired Truth Broadcast. Appreciate the super chat, my brother. He said, standard of beauty in which community matters. Which community do you want to be in? Think about it. And I'm going to say, well played, brother. Well played. And that does make a difference. And at the end of the day, If I got to convince a black woman that she is beautiful, I'm with an ugly chick. It's that simple. She ugly.
It ain't that simple.
All right. Well, let that truth teller get in. Truth teller, you got it, bro.
Well, I'm about to disappoint you niggas. God damn, y'all made me do it, man. Had to come on lunch break to do this. I don't know if y'all realize this, but y'all niggas is simping right now. I don't think you realize it. Why do you care what women think about the most beautiful women? They don't get with women. They don't value women. They don't take care of women. Who cares what they think is the most beautiful woman on the planet? What they gonna do? Take care of white women? No. So why do we care what they think is the most beautiful woman? Basically, what black women are doing, they're actually proving, they're literally proving that we are their second option, black men. They're proving that we're their fallback. You know how? Because if your primary told you you're beautiful, nobody else can tell you you're not. But if some nigga you settle for tells you that you're beautiful, well, it don't really matter what that nigga say. Hence the reason why they're going to be stuck in this conundrum for a very long time, and we cannot help them get out. Honestly, the only way we can really help them is to make things worse. And Roger, just like you said, you have to get you a white woman player or a Latino or an Asian or whatever, because it's clear that they don't want to see the truth. They don't value our opinion. They don't care what we want. And we're not their primary target. White women aren't even their primary target. What they're trying to do is cosplay as white women to get the attraction of a certain other male population. That's all it is. So, hey, and even those dudes don't even like their own women. Like, it's crazy. So it's like, what are y'all doing? what kind of weird cycle we in? But we can't sit, man. We can't sit here and use their view as the determining factor on our community's function. Men choose women. Men determine who's beautiful. It's just that simple. There's no other way around it. There's no other reason for us to go any other direction. It just is what it is. Stop being simps. Enjoy.
Roger, I'm not able to talk that much because these women keep on kissing on me, trying to take me out to the movies, they keep trying to do other stuff to me. And these Latin women, they just doing too much, you know. So I wasn't able to talk that much. You know, that's why I just fall off. I came back on because I had to just,
we heard the kissing sounds. We did. We heard them. We heard them.
Just hold on, son of runner. Hold on, man. Just hold on, brother. Hey, man, we appreciate you, son of runner. If you don't make it after the day, we appreciate you.
Tell him Runner couldn't talk. He had long, flowy hair in his face. He couldn't see. He couldn't talk. You know, he just.
Now, I do, you know, and y'all, I'm taking what everybody's saying into consideration, and I do understand that black women simply believe white women are better than them. That's what the real issue is. It's just keep telling you better than them. One of us gonna sound crazy after a while. So should we just accept that white women are better? And then they really can be the standard, if you ask me, without a dispute. Because I would dispute on white women being a standard because I've never seen them as a standard. I've never seen it amongst men that they were a standard of beauty. I've always heard women talking about the white women are the standard of beauty. I can't even come up with one white man who's even publicly said that white women were the standard of beauty. I don't even know a white guy who would say that.
Oh, it's all in publications. It's all in the publications.
I'm not saying it ain't. I'm not gonna say it ain't. I ain't gonna argue what I didn't see. But at the end of the day, if the women we're saying are beautiful is telling us that no, you wrong as somebody else, how long are we supposed to fight that fight? And why shouldn't we just agree with?
So and truth telling, by the way, you're wrong. It's Asians. Asians are the largest group of people in the world.
Okay. How many of them are there?
3
I
billion.
think it's like, but there's almost 3 billion in Africa.
But not all 3 billion Africans are Africans.
So Asian women
That's
are the new standard of beauty.
Actually, not all Asian women are just Asian. So what's your point?
And it ain't we talking about East Asia,
Uh-oh.
West Asia, or all of Asia.
Yeah, South Asia. You know,
No, we're talking all of Asia.
yeah, India,
That's really
South Asia.
diverse.
Yeah,
Hi, Chinese.
yeah.
Well,
You see how
billion.
it's not diverse. It's diverse for Black
You're
people,
right,
but not
you're right.
diverse for Asians.
No, Asians are.
Asians,
Well, we say Asia. Indians are Asian, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
No, that's different. That's different because that
But
doesn't
it's still
include
Asia. It's the
Bangladesh.
continent of
That
Asia.
doesn't include
Indians,
no,
as
that doesn't
a
include them though. The
okay,
1.4 billion is just specifically Han Chinese.
yeah.
No. 3
so
billion.
Chinese.
3 billion Asians in
He
the
said
planet. 3
he said
billion.
he's counting all
No,
Asians as 3 billion.
1.4 billion of them are Han Chinese. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes,
Out of that
that's
number.
true.
He's
Indians
referring
are
to Orientals.
1.47 billion people.
I don't think the number matters unless you accept that white women are
Oh,
not the
4.8.
standard.
My bad. 4.8.
Look, I don't think the number matters unless you first accept that white women are not the standard of beauty.
But
Roger, Roger.
but hold on, wait. But Asians will tell you that white women are standard of beauty. Asians are 60% of humanity. 4.8 billion.
Asian men or Asian women?
Both.
Both.
Well, then more than likely, that means Black women are the standard of beauty because if
the
it's
Asian
just
women don't want their men.
exactly.
Men don't want their women.
So hold on.
So now we back on top. We back on top, baby. We back on top.
Wait, Roger. I thought you said number 2 can't be number 1. Which one is it, bro?
He just said that the Asian men don't want their women. So
No, you said number 2 can't be number 1. That's what you said.
Exactly.
Right.
But we are
but
number 1 based on the number. If the Asian men don't desire their women, that means our number is the biggest group of men who like their women.
Hey, Roger said, if you ain't finished your last.
Let me talk the hot sauce. Let me talk the hot sauce. Let me talk the hot sauce. Hot sauce. We gonna have to talk around Roger today because his 1 + 1 = 5.
No, it don't.
It's foolish.
Actually, it's not. He's very accurate. So check it.
Roger first. Hold on. Roger said the standard of beauty will be the largest population of the people, what they say, right? Now,
right.
Because they like their own. Because they like their own.
No. Asians will tell you that the global standard of beauty is white women. This is why they bleach their skin. This is why the number 1 selling beauty cosmetic in Asia, all of Asia, is white. What is it?
Whitening cream.
Yeah,
whitening cream.
Bleach out them teeth.
Now, hear me out. So 60%, 4.7 billion, 60% of humanity is telling you that the white woman is the standard of beauty. But now, according to Roger's math, we back to Black women? Oh, brother.
No.
60. Hold on, Asia is not 60%. 4 billion people ain't 60% of humanity.
4.7 billion. That's 60% of humanity.
So humanity's only at 9%.
He went to war, and I believe him.
Well, hold on, real quick.
He went to war.
To clarify things, shout out to No Placeholder. He said, calling straight-headed ninjas Asians, and he said that with a question mark. So they might be included in that, brother. They might be included in that. And what I was saying was, if men like their own kind the most, whoever the largest group of men is going to make the standard of that. They're going to determine who's the standard of beauty. That's
This
what I
is
said.
about once a week. Roger comes up here and be dead wrong. This is one of them.
Please. You made that up, sir. You made that up, sir. Okay.
Well, truth be told, this is the simping part that I would also
hold on, before you say it, shout out to Inspired Truth Broadcast. He said the price of tea in China means what? With an American flag behind it. I don't know, but I think sometimes you got to go global because you want to win at a point. So you make it global, but it's not going to necessarily help you. It ain't going to necessarily help you.
White women are standard beauty in America. What are you talking about?
But hold on. So the whole point of it is the standard is the standard is set by the men, right? And each men of each group have their own standard. Black men prefer black women. So if we're those people, what difference does it make if a white dude prefers an Asian or if an Asian prefers a white woman? What difference does that make? What does that got to do with the environment you live in?
Because Roger started this by talking about the psychology of black women. That's really what we're trying to get back to.
But that's a clear point. If you're amongst the majority of black people and your male population prefers you rather than people outside of your population, but you don't care, you still think people outside your population is more attractive, which means you're making. Hold on, let me go, Uru, because I knew he was going to go there. The problem with you is, with that thought is, black women are not attracting other kinds of men. The men that they are attracting is who prefers them. So if you want to say, hey, you let the other people who aren't even attracted to me judge me versus the people who are attracted judge me, that's insanity.
We got two problems here. Truth teller, you got to convince him, and Roger ain't gonna stop lying. This is what we got going on up here.
Why would I care if white men don't marry black women or get with them? Why would I care what white men hold as the most beautiful? They don't do black women. So why would you care?
First of all, you have to care. You have to care because number one, you live in America.
It affects the behavior of our women.
Hold on.
Well, no.
Can I get my 2 minutes in?
Can I finish?
Yeah, because I mean, the Chad do got to get his 2 minutes in. Real talk.
Okay, I'll go after 2 minutes.
Go ahead, brother. Sorry for the delay. These guys, they out of control today. But go ahead.
Y'all see it. Y'all see a nigga in the waiting room and just bypass him. That's
don't care nothing
right there, man.
Yeah.
But yo, who's the most sought after? White women. Black men go after white women. African men go after white women. Chinese niggas don't even like Chinese women. They like white women. Black women want to be white women.
Yeah.
So how the hell are y'all gonna sit here and argue this? Like, this is the thing. We talk about black women be fucking delusional, and y'all up here being delusional just like them. Like, come on, fellas. Like, I know y'all want to get y'all DJ on, but come on. Like, if we can't be real, we can't be leaders.
Yeah.
The bars.
And I'll take my 1 minute and 30 seconds.
That is.
Well, I'm gonna say real talk. What I said was, let me just say this. What I said was, men like their own first, because that's what the research showed. At the end of the day, now, when it comes down to it, again, if I tell a woman she's beautiful and she won't accept it because it's coming from me, a black man, then she ugly. I have to agree with her at that point. What more can I do once she say, well, you know what? This other group of people who mean more to me than you says I'm not the top of the beauty chart. If that matters more to her, then I have to agree she's ugly. What else can I do?
Hey, Roger, I'm gonna challenge you a bit.
More segregated. I think when we were more segregated.
Right the fuck now. So listen.
I've been trying to say something. I thought I had some kind of privilege. I've been trying to say something.
No. I was next.
No, but I literally was trying to say something before
No, I was next.
No, I'm saying like about 15
Hey,
minutes ago.
gerontocracy.
I'm talking about 15 minutes ago.
Uru was trying to speak. Uru was trying to speak.
I got privilege too. I was waiting in the queue, and Roger said I was
man. God damn, you a child.
Yeah, I am a child, asshole.
Hey, let's relax. Let me read the super chat. Okay, then hot sauce, then Black Guru, so nobody else jump in. All right, look. Shout out to Elder Blood. He said, Roger and the panelists be practical and honest based on Black women's treacherous history. Even God finally decided to select white women over Black women, including beauty. Well, I'm gonna say, I'm not even really putting in a history. I'm just looking at what people look like and what's being accepted. Because if I think you're beautiful and you tell me you're not, how can I fight you on it? And you got to be right at some point about yourself. But go ahead, go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna tell it all because right now we want to be leaders. We want to say, okay, it's my way or the highway, but we're not being honest. We're not being honest that we're not being honest about the doll test. When we sit here and see Black children at the ages of 8 picking white dolls over Black dolls because society and world and education told them that they're not beautiful. And then we're going to sit here and say from childhood to 18, all that racism permeated or showing how Black women are not beautiful, or somehow they're just going to flip the switch and get over it. That is bullshit. That is lack of compassion. That's lack of empathy. And matter of fact, that is lack of leadership. And that's a lack of self-awareness to say just get over it. Number two, when we're talking about the standard of beauty in America, it is insane that I have to sit here and argue about how white women are the standard of beauty in America. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. We gotta start living in reality, in the truth. And I'll pass the mic on that.
All right, Uru, you got 5 minutes. Go ahead, Uru. Don't let them niggas talk over you.
This child shit is boring, but I'm gonna say when we were a more
that shit is boring.
Now he's interrupting me. He's interrupting.
Well, you want to just if I'm gonna be
leave Uru alone. Let Uru talk.
Come on now, y'all. Come on.
If you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with him.
Look, y'all. Remember, we're here for the people, the audience, not for egos. Okay, let's let that go.
More segregated society. It was easier for Black men to set the standard or enforce the standards of beauty. That's why in the past, when you had Black media companies, you had Black programming, you had Black church, you had cotillions and debuts. You had a more insular social society. So what Black men said and believed really set the standard for beauty. We no longer have this in this broader integrated society. It's distorted all of our perceptions to some degree as to what is and is not good. Now it affects men in different ways than affect women. I would say all the snow bunnying that a lot of you Negroes are doing, for example, I just think that's some bullshit and some self-sabotaging kind of stuff over the long term. So I see that as a form of white beauty supremacy. It's just from the perspective of the man. But it's the same kind of shit. It's the same kind of shit as the women. But y'all gotta get a snow bunny. You Negroes even make songs about that bullshit. It's the same thing.
I like that Snow Bunny Heaven song.
Can I go? Because I think I'm gonna finish this, Roger. It's gonna be real simple. You know why Black women are the number one? Because white women say so. Checkmate, niggas.
This is dumb.
Can I say this?
Checkmate,
Can I say
niggas.
this? Can I say this really fast?
Checkmate. No,
I don't want to.
I dare somebody to argue against that point. Checkmate, niggas.
I'll
All right,
argue that one. I'll
I'm
argue
not
that
gonna
point.
argue against that. I
Who
just want to
getting
say
booty
something.
injections? Who getting lip
I want to say
filled?
something
Who's
real
getting
fast. I want to say
braids?
I
something
will
real
argue
fast.
that
Who?
point, but I'll
Okay.
let Uru do his thing first. I'll argue that though.
Well, that
All
was
right,
Bronx.
so
That was Bronx.
Yeah, that's clear.
look. I just don't want to make the mistake of talking about black women in beauty without mentioning Madam C.J. Walker. Okay, this is a woman that I believe set the standard. She was actually someone who concocted something that helped black women deal with alopecia. And I asked this question pertaining to Madam C.J. Walker. Do we still see any of her products on the shelves today?
I believe we do.
I
Don't we?
thought you made something to straighten women's hair. I didn't know
Yeah,
it was
she
about.
straightened hair. I mean, she
I thought
started the
alopecia
alopecia
was like
thing.
a skin disease or something. What it? Ain't it?
No,
It is. It
no,
is.
no, hair loss, hair loss.
No,
And
alopecia.
so Madam C.J. Walker, she started losing her hair young, and like she actually moved to St. Louis after her husband died and lived with her four brothers, and she went to them about it. And yeah, I'm sure those brothers were telling her how beautiful she was, very supportive of her, and she actually started experimenting with a few different concoctions to deal with the hair loss. And she ended up mixing like sulfur, petroleum jelly with some other stuff, and that ended up working to help treat the hair loss that she was dealing with. She went out and was able to successfully market that. And then she's actually the reason why a lot of our earlier sisters were using the hot comb.
So she helped black women look more like white women?
Yes, that's what he said.
Yes.
No, it started with hair loss though. I'm going to give her that credit because it started to deal with hair
I
loss. But
get it.
yes, in a way,
I'm just saying. Her,
yes.
her biggest thing. Well, that means she was sisterhood from way back then. That's all.
Wait a minute. Hold on, because I want to make sure. I'm hearing this clear. Are you saying Madam C.J. Walker created something to help with hair loss, and black women took it and used it to look more like a white woman?
That's what he said.
Or did
No,
she make something
no.
to
That's
look
how
like a
he
white
spinning
woman?
it. I didn't say that, but yeah, she also did introduce the hot comb to the hair treatment method for black women.
So she brought the hair back and then she straightened it out. That's what she's saying.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so yeah, she allowed them to grow their hair back so they can look like a white woman. That's what he said. Oh, I thought her.
I just wanted to make sure we clear on that
Hey,
too.
that's how it can be interpreted.
I just want to make sure we totally,
As truth, as a famous truth teller said, checkmate, nigga.
I don't even know why he brought that up. Like, nigga, what are you doing? You're not making the case.
I'm gonna say, well, it stands to reason that white women's hair was clearly the standard because she became a millionaire out there way back when.
Oh yeah.
So she produced what the women wanted, and then she got rich.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, like I said, white women's beauty is a standard of beauty for black women. And I can't help a black woman with that.
Hey, I didn't say it that way. I didn't say it the way that y'all
I'm saying it that way because that's what it is. I can't help a black woman I can't tell her standard of beauty should be herself, and she don't believe me, and then there's something for me to do about it. If I'm saying you should be the standard, you black women should be your standard of beauty, and she telling me no, it's the white woman because the white woman is better than me. What am I supposed to do about that? That's an internal situation.
I was simply giving
Now,
a shout out to the late great Madam C.J. Walker.
We done gave them the magazine, okay? We done gave them page 43 or something close to 43, okay?
Lying,
The beauty of the month. We done gave them. We done gave them the pageants, okay? We done gave them characters to you know what I'm saying, fictional characters to be and all that type of stuff. So collectively, black men done gave them all kinds of stuff to accept they're beautiful, and they have rejected it time and time again. I don't see how this has got anything to do with black men, but I do see there's a clear message that we should just accept that black women ain't beautiful. And I'm getting that from black women because I'm not even getting that from white women. I'm not even getting that from white men. They're not even telling me black women ain't beautiful. It's black women telling me they not beautiful.
There's white women cosplaying black women to this day.
Yeah, but black women is cosplaying white women, and they playing
exactly. So weird
there's a
world.
whole economic system.
Come on,
it's
it's true. Because why are a lot of these black women wearing blonde hair, wigs, and everything else?
Everybody is cosplaying everybody. But the fact of the matter is what y'all missing is the structural racism, white supremacy that is the underlying factor here. You simply saying, well, if I say you're beautiful, you don't believe me, then what is that about? It goes deeper than that. And the fact that even me and Black Uber do not see eye to eye on a lot of shit. Me and Great Black Reset don't see eye on a lot of shit. But here we are agreeing on this. So you know you done fucked up.
That should tell you something wrong. That should tell you something wrong right there. That should tell you something wrong. Yeah, no, I'm saying what he just said should make you take a pause in what you're saying and say, you know what? If all three of us is agreeing, we might need to rethink this.
Man, I'm just saying. Back in the day, you didn't see no black women going to get no plastic surgery. We talking regular, smuggler black women, not the wealthy, right? The upward, the well-to-do black women. Now we talking regular, working class black women going to get BBL, getting serious plastic surgery, getting their eyes lifted, faces redone, bodies redone, and it still don't do them no good. But we've indulged in
when we were a more segregated community, we upheld our own internal beauty standards, and we reinforced them amongst each other, and we strictly prohibited certain kinds of behavior. Like I remember black women complaining about Diana Ross with all the long flowing weave. I remember black women complaining about that. But that's when we were a more insular community, and we strictly reinforced standards within our families, within our communities, within our group. As we became more integrated, we started to adopt and attending white school colleges and universities, and even pre-college and universities, we adopted more white standards of things, including beauty standards.
Wanting to be choked. So that's again, these are the educated. So think about these educated black women in these public white institutions, right? So they in these white institutions and they want to get chose because ain't very many black men in these white institutions. So here we are today, right? Black women are more college educated, right? But they don't want to have no kids. They more focused on what they look like or their careers, one or the other. But we were just talking about this yesterday. Family almost don't even come out their mouth. They even talking about now. Y'all seen that Kendra G where she talking about freezing her eggs. She may have said marriage and man one or two times, but she wasn't. She's talking about freezing her eggs, and in the future, she may want to have a baby. So she's promoting single motherhood.
Yeah.
Right. So now, and she's sitting up there with weave. I just always say this: when a baddie says she's a baddie, like you damn near disqualify yourself. As soon as I see weave, I'm like, you're not really no baddie. The baddies that I knew in my day was all natural. We talking about. I know I'm gonna go old nigga, but I'm talking about Dorothy Dandridge, right? Those type of women back in the day was truly bad and attractive women, so bad and attractive the white men actually wanted them. The white women was trying to be them, right? So they had it real hard, but it's transferred since then.
Preach on it. They wanted to be like Josephine Baker, Lena Horne, and back in the day.
Wait a minute.
And the dark-skinned women too, and the dark-skinned Lola Falana. They wanted to be these women. They were thin, they were active, they were beautiful, they had good spirits. Somewhere around the line, bro, it just changed. Fat women became the new standard, right? The eyelashes. If you ain't got eyelashes that look like fans, you're not a real woman. If you don't have, fake hair and fake this and fake that, it's a uniform. If you don't have this uniform on, I don't feel pretty. I don't feel valuable.
Roger, can I speak after you?
Yeah, absolutely. Now I'm gonna say this. Okay, look. All right. Now I know quote unquote beauty ain't the same for men, but for us it's more about being handsome, not being beautiful. But are we saying that unless there's a certain amount of white women that tell me I'm handsome, then I can't come to a conclusion that I'm handsome? Even though some black women have said I can't come to that reason that I'm a handsome man. All these black women say, "Oh, you handsome, you look nice, blah blah this. I like how you dress." They give you all these compliments, but none of this count until the white women started telling me that she think I'm handsome.
The reason why you think you're handsome is because white men told you you're handsome by emulating you, by dressing like you, want to talk like you, want to look like you. That's why you believe you're handsome. If white men decide today that fuck these niggers and we're gonna make them feel ugly, within 10 years, niggas will start feeling ugly.
I'm handsome because the women told me we was handsome.
Well, but it's a
All of
fallacious it's a fallacious comparison, because again, the looks of a man are not as critically important to their existence and their competitiveness in the society as the looks are to a woman. A woman could be rich and have all the education and status and whatever, and still be rejected just on the basis of her appearance. That
Leslie Jones.
That's harsh.
That don't happen
That is
to
harsh,
that don't
Guru.
let me finish. God damn, let me finish a statement. That don't happen to a comparably situated man. So it's a false comparison.
Well, I'm gonna flip that out and say, if black people think I'm hardworking, you know what I'm saying? Now maybe white people say I'm lazy. Now, am I lazy because the white people say I'm lazy, and because they're the quote unquote standard? I am now lazy because white people said I'm lazy, even though I'm working all the time. I'm working 23 hours a day. Am I lazy just because some particular group of people said I'm lazy? And does that make me actually lazy?
Black men have been trying to prove their productivity for 400 years in this country, man.
Thank you, Black Guru. Thank you, Black
What
Guru.
are you talking about?
Yeah, Roger be on some bullshit, man.
Are we lazy?
Just to be right. Just to be
They've
right.
been calling us lazy, and we've had to valiantly prove that we're not lazy.
Right. That's where the whole thing, work twice as hard for less. That's where that whole thing comes from.
The Tuskegee Airmen were proving that we weren't lazy. The Buffalo Soldiers were proving that we weren't lazy. The Massachusetts 54th were proving that we weren't lazy.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
damn thing we've done has been an effort to prove ourselves to be more productive people than they claimed us to be.
Right, to show the white for white man approval, and on top of that, let's keep it 100. Let's keep it. I'll go back. Go ahead. I'll go after you.
No, that was me laughing at you.
I've been waiting to go.
Just to make a point, right? There are black men right now, quiet as it's kept, that don't hire black men because they believe black men are lazy. Why is it kept? If we want to keep it, 100. I'm telling the truth now.
Nah, okay. That's a good theory, but let me read this. That's a good theory.
It ain't good theory, it's facts.
I don't know about that one now. Black men, shout out to Inspired True Broadcast. He says black men get told to get over oppression all the time. We actually try. No excuses for being mentally conquered. Now, I'm gonna say shout out to Inspired True Broadcast for that, because that's real talk right there.
So black men never complain about being oppressed.
No,
black men never. But hold on, answer that question. Black men never complain about being oppressed.
I'm not. No, they have, absolutely they have, but that doesn't mean that they've mentally accepted something else. That's why they complaining, because they haven't accepted it.
So, Aspire Truth, you need to apologize for that comment, man. Because please don't be one of those pull yourself up by the bootstrap niggas. Please don't be that.
No, I don't see that comment going in that direction. I think he's just dealing with the matter of fact of the situation. Just like, you know what I'm saying, black men been told they've been lazy a long time, and there's many unknown black men who literally worked himself until the day he died. A lot of black men done died at work. And we wasn't doing it for no white approval. We was doing it because
Yes,
that
we
was
were. Yes, we
we
were.
were
Yes,
Yes,
we
doing it
were.
because
That
we
is
were doing it because
no, bro.
it was necessary for us to maintain our home situation,
get the hell.
not for no
Roger,
white approval.
Roger, you're not being honest today, man.
No, I
You're
am being
not
honest,
being
bro.
honest today.
You
God
you
damn
had
it.
to, you had to pay bills, so you had to go to work. It just is what it
You
is.
had to be accepted by the white man to pay your bills.
Now, no, because a lot of us, and let's be realistic about
Bullshit.
it. Let's be realistic about
Bullshit.
it. Let's be realistic about it. The reason you had all those black towns was because black folks was generating their own without white people.
What happened to those towns?
White
What
people
happened
were
to those towns?
white people were uncomfortable with that, which is why they came over to start destroying those towns. It wasn't black men saying we got to be near these white folks. Black men been trying to get away from white folks.
Roger, I love you, Roger. I love you, Roger. I
Well,
really do.
hold that thought, cause Sharp been trying to get in a long time. So hold
Come
that
on
thought.
in, Sharp.
With
All right, man, come on.
old
Say
hate
something.
disguises love that we gonna get in a little bit. Okay.
You damn right. You damn right.
And shout out to Elder Blood. He say black women have been obsessed with the white women trying to replace white men for centuries, not to defeat or compete with the white man, but to be his batter up, get knocked out the park. And I'm gonna agree with that because black women have been trying to replace that white woman. She is a bane of her existence, but she still love her because she got to produce that white man for her. I know it's a treacherous situation going on in their mind. I hate this white woman, but I love this white woman because she can produce that white man I want. It's crazy, but it is what it
Where
is.
the fuck
Sorry,
is
it's been taking so long. Sorry, well, I'll take her. Sorry, it's been taking so long, but go ahead and get all of what you want to say out, bro. Get all of what you
All
want
right.
to say out. I like these dudes ain't even here. Get it out.
And I know I'm gonna get them in their feelings, but black men are lazy. We're intellectually lazy. Because how in the hell can you let a white man fool you into thinking you don't work hard when you didn't did everything for them? You gotta be literally stupid to think that. They know you work hard. That's why they told you don't, so you could go and work harder. Second of all, yo, the Indian guy, he got to choose the Indian because he's in India with Indian women. But as soon as he gets the option to choose what he wants, he's going to choose the white woman. Same thing with black dudes. We were segregated. We didn't have no choices of what we had. It was only black women we had. As soon as we was able to choose, we was choosing. Emmett Till got killed. Why? Because he was whistling at a white lady. Yo,
Hey, Jack Johnson, they was
why we
choosing them
Jack John
before.
like so? Why are we
They was
sitting
choosing
here
them
being
before.
why are we sitting here being like just not wanting to admit the fact? Do we think our women are beautiful? Yes, we do think our women are beautiful. But is there something like that might be more beautiful than our women? Yeah. What's so hard to say? What's so hard to say about that?
Now I'm gonna say, bro, people are attracted to all kinds of women. Men, a straight man is attracted to women of any kind, as long as they look good. But at the end of the day, they keep picking what they like. And if they're taking mostly black women, I'm gonna have to say their standard of beauty is a black woman.
They not taking black women, Roger. Black women don't even get married.
Roger,
Black
The
women
you
like
ones
just
who
not
have,
being
though, the
honest.
ones who have,
You
it's like
you're
85%.
not being. I
no,
told
Yeah,
y'all, Roger ain't gonna
I'm
stop
not
lying
really
today.
sure at this point.
in
I'm
that
not
in that
sure right now if black women are the. I think we're definitely moving in a direction where especially amongst younger black men, black women are not the first choice, even just from a beauty standpoint. I would say 35 and under, maybe 30 and under, black women are not the preeminent beauty
Latinas are.
choice
Latinas are the
of
first
black.
choice.
I don't think they are.
like
From
ooh,
what
these
I
men.
actually see amongst younger, sons of friends and relatives of mine, black girls aren't their beauty standard, not
Yeah.
in the least bit.
Black men have literally been bullied into dating black women.
I
Don't
was
bring
just
no
gonna say,
white girl home. Don't bring nothing else. Don't bring nothing home if it ain't no black. You've been literally bullied.
True.
I was
That's
gonna
very
say, look,
true.
But the
listen,
young ones,
Roger,
but the
you
young
said,
ones, but the young ones ain't going for that no more.
Exactly.
The young ones
you
ain't going
said,
for that.
Roger, you made it. You put some data out there. You said that 85% of black men are marrying black women. All right, but I think you left a lot of context out of that because we got to look at it a little bit more broader, right? What is the divorce rate in the black community compared to other communities? So just because you're getting with them, that really doesn't mean that doesn't translate to we like them,
What is
right?
the marriage rate?
They
The
asking for the
marriage rate
divorce.
is
They
actually
asking for
more.
the divorce. It's the women asking for the
The
divorce, not the men.
marriage, the
Yeah.
marriage rate
Well,
is actually
my
more.
point is this. My point is this. If you like it, why isn't it staying together?
Because they're divorcing you. You're not divorcing them.
Well,
Hey, 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 hey. Sometimes you
that
divorcing
doesn't
them too.
that doesn't even matter because it's less
They're
than
not
fifty
marrying them.
percent of black. Hold on, it's less than 50% of black men getting married anyway, which means
Yeah,
they
exactly.
don't even like the black women.
47%.
Okay, look,
So
I'm gonna
so
say this.
hold on, pause. So my point still stands. White women are the standard of beauty.
Exactly.
Okay, now
See, Roger, it's your fault. You keep making me agree with this motherfucker. You keep doing this,
And
hey,
reset the
Roger.
hey, no,
and reset
it's
the
not.
caveat to it is it's not, are we happy that that's what it is? No, we're not happy that's what it is. But it is what it is.
Facts.
Look.
This is not just. I know the question's about beauty, but it's really about status. And it's the black woman wanted the white woman's status. That's why the white woman is the standard of beauty. That's what it's really about, man.
Yes.
That's what y'all making it about. Okay.
That's what
My
it
thing
is.
is, my thing is, she looked good, so she was beautiful. I want to talk to her. I want to holler at her. I ain't saying me first. I'm just saying black men as a collective. We want to be with them. We tell them they beautiful. They reject the fact that we tell them they beautiful. At some point in time, you're gonna end up agreeing. You're not gonna be arguing with somebody forever about the fact that they look good. You're not going to do it. At some point, you're just gonna accept that what they're telling you because they keep saying the white women look better. The white woman is better. That's who you really should go for. That white woman, because she's clearly better than me.
She's telling you.
You keep telling boys that long enough, what's gonna happen to them? They gonna listen.
Look, Roger, she's literally telling you you're delusional. She's telling you, no, that chick look. You ever seen how black women look at white women when they come around? Like a white woman that got her shit together and put their outfit together. They got scowls, whatever the scar, like they got that gas face when that happens.
Hey man, I get what you're saying. Now I'm gonna say this: there's plenty of beautiful white women out there. Sydney Sweeney got a lot of flack for that jeans commercial. You know, Scarlett Johansson been considered fine for a long time. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of beautiful white women out there. So now, if you a guy and you going to the women saying, "Hey, you are what's up," and they keep telling you, "No, I'm not what's up. This other chick is what's up." Whose fault is this?
They fault.
So how can they?
No,
So
but they're not saying it. White supremacy is saying it.
no, they are saying they're saying out their own mouths.
White supremacy and their parents are saying that they don't look good enough. From a young age, they learn that. So they're just repeating what they've been told. I have learned through my years of living as a black woman, I'm not pretty enough. The world has told me I'm not pretty enough. Why can we not reconcile that? Because we're not being honest until we acknowledge that. You have yet to acknowledge that.
No,
You have yet
bro.
to acknowledge the doll test.
I acknowledge. I'm acknowledging everything. When a girl gets her hair done for the first time, who takes her?
Her mother.
Okay, what you want me to do with that?
So, but do you acknowledge that? Do you acknowledge that she's been told all her life that she's not pretty enough?
That's that is no. What I'm saying is that's a well. I mean, I'll acknowledge that, but I'm saying a black woman told her she ugly.
Okay,
That's why we're
fine.
going to get your hair done.
But okay, so do you acknowledge that her mother has told her, a black woman has told her she has not been pretty enough. Education has told her she has not been pretty enough for 18 years. Can we acknowledge that?
No,
Yeah,
we can't. No, we can't. No, we can't. No, we can't.
Yes, what?
it
What?
No, we
doesn't
can't.
change anything.
No, we
It
can't.
changes a lot.
No, it
No,
doesn't.
no, it
Oh,
don't.
fuck out of
Because
here.
at the end of the day, education is not. There's no history book saying black women are ugly. Black women are
Yes, there
seeing.
are.
Black women are seeing.
Nursery rhymes in school, in nursery rhymes in fairy tales are full of.
You guys are showing, with all due respect, you're showing your ignorance about
Yes.
how females are born and grow up in the world and how they see, feel, and experience the world.
Thank you.
You're really showing your ignorance there. You know,
He's
there's
talking
a
to you,
reason
sir.
why
No, he
all
not.
the 30-year-old black girls are Hannah Montana fans. That shit ain't a coincidence. That's environmental. There's a reason why all the 30-year-old black girls wanted to be little mermaid.
Thank you.
That's not a coincidence. That's not an accident. That's fucking environmental.
No.
Nursery rhymes are designed to show that dark skinned black is bad. Even Malcolm X talked about this.
Wait, which nursery rhyme said black women are ugly?
Snow White.
That's a nursery rhyme.
Well, whatever you want to call it.
But look, this is the thing. I understand the environment tells people stuff. I also understand people of the environment accept stuff. What do you accept? The things that you like. Okay. Now, sometimes you have to accept some stuff that you
You're
don't like because you
trained.
can't do anything about it.
You're trained to accept stuff.
Yes,
You don't even know half of the shit that you accept. It's because of what your mama or your daddy or what you saw on TV or what you saw in church. You don't just create shit out of nowhere that you believe and accept.
I can agree with that, Uru, definitely.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, and I ain't gonna say but because that's a real thing. I'm going to say eventually you do come of age. And you start making decisions about stuff that you previously accepted and things that you previously did not.
And you're a product of all the subconscious shit that happened up to that point. And a lot of it you're going to be consciously aware of and maybe attempt to fight back against, but a lot of it you're not. A lot of it shit you're not going to even know why you like certain things.
Roger.
And you probably have to talk to a damn hypnotist to discover it was some shit that happened when you was 9 years.
So Roger,
I mean, that's a real thing.
But
Roger.
Uru, now that we have all this
One
information
second,
and we
Roger,
understand people being
respectfully,
brainwashed,
from this point on, Roger, respectfully from this point on, I don't want to hear shit about what you learned before 18. I better never hear no shit from you again about what you learned from your father, mother, before 18. Because it's up to you to change whatever you believe from that point on. And as much as you talk about how your mother and father shaped your beliefs before the age of 18, and then sit here and say that has no influence on you, is hyper hypocritical.
no, I can agree. I can agree with that, households. But at the end of the day, we live in an information age where even me myself realize, you know what, hip hop brainwashed the shit out of me. I gotta change. I gotta change my ways. I gotta figure this out. Now I understand this. Now I understand that. Why can't they do it? We now know. I could see when Uru was coming up, they had no. When Uru was coming up, they
I
had
don't
no
think
information like
women
we have.
are as durable and capable of changing as
So-
men are without the help of men.
But
There's
we
a
trying
reason
to-
why men are the leaders.
That's right.
But we try to help them, Uru, and they don't.
I would love to answer your question if I could. So first of all, women don't really fix shit, men do. Second of all, even amongst men, very few men change, right? Very few men change the idea of hip hop that you have. So you're expecting a woman who nests an environment, doesn't change an environment, do what very few men do. Right? I mean that's like, you know what I mean? Like that's what you're saying to me right now.
Well, respectfully, when you put it like that, you got a point. can't even. I ain't the type to be on here bullshitting. You got a point with that.
Now, but now I'm gonna say this, y'all. No, nobody is saying that what you've been exposed to don't have some effect, but you do eventually become an adult and you become smarter, way smarter than you were when you were a kid. Okay, your child self is an idiot compared to your adult self, and that's just a real thing. Okay,
Yes.
so yes, you may accept something when you was a child, but that don't mean you have to continue to accept it. And you 20, 25, 30, 45, you don't have to still accept those things. You start making your choices about what you're going to accept and what you're not going to accept. And if men are telling you you're beautiful and you're not accepting it, and you are 30 years old and above, that is your own fault. It's not society's fault anymore. It's you.
But Roger, them bitches don't believe in the Easter Bunny no more. So they actually know that this chick is more beautiful than them. They
Well,
not
and
stupid. They don't believe in Santa Claus no
I
more.
don't know if the women, black women, again, they used to have an exclusive on the attention of black men. They don't have an exclusive on the attention of black men. The same black men are just as inclined to say Holly is fine, or Maria, or Consuela is fine,
Consuela
or
bad as hell.
Song Yi, and just as likely to be in Consuela's IP as he is in Keisha's.
Yeah,
So
Consuela
they
fine as
don't
hell.
have that exclusive. We're the standard for black men today. They don't have that. They don't have a monopoly on that anymore. They don't.
Well, they need to work to get it back. Let me read these super chats, and then I'm gonna give it to Faulkner because he coming up. Shout out to Elder Blood again. He said, in the history of the entire world, black women are the absolute only women that have collectively broke, compromised, and destroyed their race of men beyond repair. Now, I'm not gonna say we beyond repair, so I ain't gonna agree with that fully. But I get your point. But I'm gonna just say this, to me, what we're talking about today is this is a them thing. And I think black men include themselves with what women are doing a little too much sometimes. This is a them thing. Now we done gave them the stuff to promote their beauty. They said, screw y'all, we don't buy it. That's their fault. It's just that simple to me. They got the pageants, they got the magazines, they got the videos, they got the television spots, they got the made up characters, and they didn't accept it. That's their fault to me. Now, and shout out to Gyogami. He says 45 minutes behind. High school positions that man of all races to find white women to be attractive, or second most, is invalid. Men go from most to least like themselves in looks. Okay, he's saying, I'm gonna say now from a high school perspective, if you grow up in America, there is white supremacy in the education. Now, is that gonna make a woman attractive to you? Not necessarily, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of ads on television that give people a lot of messages. You can't put no woman in front of me and just make her look good. She gonna have to look good on her own. I don't care how many times you throw someone in front of me. If she ugly, I'm gonna see it. It is what it is. If she fat, I'm gonna see it. It is what it is. But I want Faulkner to get in because he just came up. So Faulkner, you got it, my brother. How you doing?
Still celebrating my birthday, April 1st, all month long. And may the church say woo.
Woo! And
Happy belated birthday, man. Happy belated birthday,
Thank you.
OG.
Now, we got it.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Now, we're going to have to tell some truths over the lies. If white women were so beautiful, they wouldn't need a propaganda machine behind them.
That's a good point.
And then on top of that, it's not my fault if a person suffers from detachment from reality. Because there's plenty of black women throughout history who vastly outclassed the most beautiful insert race here. What we really want to look at, especially boys who are 25 and under, maybe 30 and under, mostly 25. Black men, number one, are the garbage men of the dating world. It's a proven fact. Black men do not necessarily go off of looks. They go off of treatment. If I'm in high school with this white girl and she's letting me drive her car, compared to this black girl who treats me differently, who is that black boy gonna take? Because trust me,
Good point.
when a lot of black men pick white women, are you getting their cream of the crop?
I'll say that's a
You,
60-40. That's a 60-40.
I,
But
I,
you right.
I say
I'm
it's a
with you.
70. I say it's a 70-30. They're
Now,
only getting 30.
I would say yes. Black men do get the cream of the crop of white girls. Now,
They don't. On
It's
average, on
no, they get
average,
the
they
cream of the
don't.
crop of the white
okay,
girls that like
Let's
hip
let's
hop.
look let's look at the average. They don't. They get the plain Janes. Even if you look at the celebrities, a lot of them get the plain Janes.
but
But
celebrities
but but
in the
Wait, hold
top
on.
but
Let him
but
level.
get his
but,
two
but
minutes out.
Yeah. I
hold
apologize.
on,
I
hold
apologize.
on.
No discipline.
I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of these celebrity black men, even the average black men, are not getting hell. Most races are not letting you touch their best and brightest. So when we look at this, it's a treatment thing because beautiful is beautiful no matter who you are. There are some people that are universally handsome, some people that are universally beautiful. Trust me, if Megan Good or Prime Megan Good or Prime Bria Miles walk any inch of this earth, there's somebody trying to screw them.
You hear me?
So we're not going to act like they're not the top echelon. When you look at this whole phenomenon, white women already know that they got to give more than a black woman does because, one, to correct you historically, that whole Emmett Till thing was a lie, and a woman actually admitted she lied on him because they know that it's dangerous. As soon as you argue with them or they want to get mad, who's leaving the house? You or her? You are. Because if the cops get called and they see white woman's tears, have been just as dangerous as a white man's hood and sheet, if not so more. So when I look at this whole beauty standard, number one, it is not my job to take your disrespect or your psychosis. If you think you're ugly, that's on you. I could tell you you're beautiful. I could tell you you're handsome. Guess what? Mom and dad could tell you. When you go out there into the world, you know there's a standard, even beyond white woman's standard of beauty. Because white woman's standard of beauty really was being the plain Jane. And here we go into this world of let's reverse it to men. Men have a status of athleticism, how they're built. Notice that wielder that the statue gift for I think it's the wielder that you get at the end of Mr. Olympia. That body is not a white man's body. They just changed the head. That was a black man's body. So when we look at the standard of beauty, if you're stupid enough to listen to a person who's diametrically opposed to keep you down, job well done for them. And I'm not telling anybody who to date, but you go to these college campuses, guess what? Especially PWIs, you got it. She wants to help you out. God forbid you're an athlete. Of course she's going to help you because that's how they're taught to do it. Now, do you see a beautiful black woman have the same complaints as a plain Jane or sub five woman? No, they live in two different worlds. Same thing with a beautiful white woman or Asian woman or sub five, whatever. They don't live in the same world. And I think what a lot of guys really need to do in the black community, what you really need to do is have a standard of beauty, but you're not going to do that because why? Let's just say this. Black men, like every man, like to go to the path of least resistance when it comes to sex. There's a reason why there's a reason why a motherfucker that looks like a supervillain like Leslie Jones can complain about sex with men because somebody's fucking her. Do you think she would act like that if men did not fuck her? Excuse my language. Because here's the crazy part about it. When it comes to your standard of beauty, black men, what is not your ceiling, what's your floor? Do we make sure that our women have to be in a certain shape? No. A certain attitude? No. There's always some guy who's gonna jump out the line because of one desperation and other things that you may want to mention. But until you get together and say this is the standard of what we like in women, you get what you get. Why do you think an obese white woman could go to a black man? Because hey, if I can't get a man over here, I know I could get a black one. But then on top of that, going back to what you said earlier, that confidence of the black girl, it's black men build society, men build society, women build culture. A lot of us need to really, before you make a child, go look at the psychological profile of the woman you're laying down with. Does she wear a lot of caked up makeup?
What I'm gonna say, look, when it comes down to it, I mean, I get what you're saying, but this ain't about who gonna take the ugliest chick. When black men find black women attractive, they don't accept that they're attractive because we're telling them that.
Oh, it depends on some.
Well, I'm saying if our saying that they're beautiful can't be accepted by them, then to me it stands to reason that they just ugly. And we just have to make an adjustment to the fact that they just are ugly. I can't spend the next 20 years arguing on if you look good or not. If you say I don't look good, stop telling me that. I'm just gonna have to say at some point, you know what, you're right. You is ugly.
Well,
now what's the reason? What's the reason why she says she's
hold
ugly?
on, wait. Here's the reason. Like we keep forgetting the genesis of why she believes she's ugly. And number two, black men do date the best and brightest of white men. I had friends at Penn, Wharton, that were black dating white girls who went to Wharton at Penn. I have black friends that went to Stanford dating white girls at Stanford, the best and brightest. Literally the best and brightest. 3% acceptance rate, 2% acceptance rate. So it just depends on where your social circle.
Well, the white women
Best and
on
brightest as in
average,
what?
those white women on average have I mean, you would think, I think the perception is they have a higher value out the gate, right? As far as supporting, as far as being wise. Now, and I think that's what they're looking at. So you don't have to be the most gorgeous, because I know when we have kids, I've already seen the result of when my blood mixes with, other day blood and what our offspring would look like. So she don't have to be the finest. Most of the time, she can be. That's really what they're looking for. If I'm a superstar, I really do want somebody kind of low key. I kind of want her average. More importantly, I want her to agree to my plan. Right? She needs to be amicable and agreeable, and a fan of me. And I think that's just what it comes down. Most men, that's what we looking for. So if you're not a fan of me, you ain't even a fan of yourself. So how can you be a fan of me? So I gotta fight. I got to first teach you that you again go back and teach you that you're the most beautiful thing on earth, and you got and you're fighting that. I think you're beautiful. I already told you as is, but you don't feel that way. So if you don't feel that way, then how could I even I can't beat how you feel about yourself.
I'm not finna sit here and argue with some woman about she look good and she keeps saying she ugly, because what do I look like? Arguing with some woman who keep telling me she ugly. I look crazy. If you consist that you're ugly, okay, fine, you're ugly. It's time for me to move on. Just is what it is.
Here's the secret, right? At some point, every woman's gonna feel that way. If you've been around women, they feel that way about themselves at some point. It may be the time of the month. It may be because they feel bad. It's just a normal thing. And here's the craziness about it. Most men date to their wallet and their ego. Most men do not go too far from where they stand. They either go one up, the same, or down. Most anybody who dealt with women at some point, you come near them and be like, okay, what the fuck is it now? Like you're just saying that because okay, you're hormonal or whatever problem or whatever. Think about it. They're catty. A lot of women are natural catty. Women of all races have to have some type of drama in their life to feel fulfilled. If you find one who doesn't, God bless you. You got not only a unicorn, but you got the literal sword of power. When you look at that psychological profile on women, why do you think you have a single mama epidemic and not a single father? Because that single father is not going to give a damn. He knows he got a mission. The reason why, to answer this question earlier, why did men work themselves to death? Because somebody had to do it. That's how men thought. Men weren't trying to impress a white man. Who gives a damn about a white man when you need to put food on the table? You're either gonna earn it or you're gonna steal it. So when you come out there, you listen, you come back home and you just listen to this stuff and you just what do most men do? Ignore it. Hey, you look beautiful. I feel ugly. Okay. And it shows when you get into those long term relationships. It gets from oh you don't look ugly to okay what is it now? Because we went over this like 10, 15 years ago. Well, I'm getting fat. Well, here, let's do this, baby. Let's go to the gym. Let's change our eating, do whatever. Most men don't realize this. Men are made to be problem solvers, and 85% of women just don't want their problems to be solved because they became their identity. Why won't black women be as beautiful? Is because you choose because there's a good section of black women who choose not to be. Some people are just in love with the struggle so much, you take it away. What else do they have? What foundation do you have? Who
And
you really are is gonna be a real profound moment when you're by yourself and there's only one thing you gotta rely on, and that's you. It's the same thing with black men. Take away the image of a thug. You let the society say this is what a black man's supposed to be, and we have numerous examples of what it's not. What is your identity? That's what I would tell people. What is your real you?
well, the thing is, at some point in time, it is not my job to argue with a woman who she says everybody else is more beautiful than her, especially that white woman. If you live on a white woman standard, I don't need to be bothered with you. That's just a very real thing. Because you so worried about something that you got no control of at the end of the day. You cannot control what white women are. You can't control how they gonna operate. You can't control how they think about themselves, and you can't control how they see themselves in comparison to you. So to bother me with a white woman's beauty standard ain't gonna do nothing but get on my nerves. So guess what? It's not welcome. So at the end of the day, if you have to accept that that woman is better than you, then I have to accept it too. Because I can't fix what's in your head. You know, black men have made great efforts to support black women on all kinds of beauty levels. Again, we did give them the pageants. You know what I'm saying? We created fictional characters for them to be. We done whistled at them on the street. We done did everything we could to show these women that we find them attractive. If that's not good enough, that's your problem to solve. And I don't think black men should worry about it anymore.
I mean, hey, get a class action lawsuit against your mama. She's the first person to put a price tag on your naughty bits, not men. She's the first person to tell you if you're beautiful or not. Here's the thing I tell a lot of people. That's not your cross to carry, nor your burden to bear. Because somebody in the world's gonna think you're something. But it's just like this one, my godson's mother, who's a little younger than me. She says, well, there's some men who like big women. Yeah, just big women don't like them men, right? And she started laughing because she got caught. I said, come on, stop acting like I'm not an experienced guy. Your psychosis is not my reality. And I need a lot of brothers to say that to any woman they're with. I get it. You're gonna be more emotional. But at some point we gotta come back to reality. If I say that I'm a lazy, shiftless Negro who's never gonna amount to anything, at some point I'm gonna go out of my way to make that a reality, will I not? If
Well,
I
I mean, whatever's in your heart, you gonna do it. You gonna be it at the end of the day. So that's why I'm saying that the fact that black women accept this stuff, I can't stop her from accepting it. I can tell her all day what I think, but if I got to tell her too many times, I don't see no point in telling her. Cause
and
from my perception, me telling her ain't working.
and what's the old saying we say in wrestling? Winners think about winning, losers think about the winner. If you think that damn white woman is so great looking, that's you. That's not a me problem. That's a you problem. When it comes to competition, the only person I'm competing against is me to be better each and every day. And if you can't get that through your thick skull, and if you're still in 2026 looking at white women as the beauty standard, obviously what we said doesn't matter to a damn hill of beans. Obviously, I'm going to pick a better woman who I don't, and let's say if I wanted more children, I don't want that disease to affect them because you're going to be the same person trying to either hot press to the point it falls out, bleach their hair, try to give them some texture. And I'm like, look, that child is going to have to go through much more than just a damn beauty standard. That's that's one of the bottom problems. Is this child going to be intelligent enough to get a good career or start a business so they can survive? How do you manage the world?
All right. Now I want to say
Because
shout out to Serious Rock. He said beauty pageant is a white man's invention to start women against women war. I'm just gonna say I don't know who started the beauty pageant. I don't know why. I don't think they figured it would come out the way I've seen it because I've seen stuff on how these pageant people act and it's crazy sometimes. It is kind of a war to them. But at the end of the day, we as men, if we celebrate your beauty and you don't like or you don't appreciate the celebration, I don't see a reason to celebrate your beauty anymore. And that's real talk. And that's something I'm going to start pushing to black women. If we celebrate your beauty and you don't care that we celebrate it, it is unworthy of celebration.
mm-hmm.
I don't believe in doing stuff for people and they just not appreciating it. I don't believe in that. Now, I ain't gonna say I ain't never did something for somebody who didn't appreciate it, but once I pick up on the fact that you don't appreciate me doing something for you, I just stop.
You know, Roger, I'm gonna say this, and I might just shut the hell up. I don't want to hear a damn thing from anybody when Jet spent the better part of 60 plus years putting up a beauty of the week for 60 plus years. Number one, that beauty of the week, which were black women of all shades, correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Had some of the most beautiful women that ever walked on terra firma. That's Earth. Some people who's like, what the hell is that? The surface of Earth, damn it. So that being said, we created our own propaganda. Remember, them beautiful women were not built like white women, right? They had curves, they had cleavage, they had beautiful smiles, faces, everything. No stomach. I mean, stomachs look like you cut them out of like stalagmite. So,
Brick houses, man. Brick houses.
so they were lean to the point where you could see not only their curvatures but also definition. Why, oh why is that not the average that you want to obtain? Why, oh why is the obesity rate the largest between any demographic of men and women is black men and women? Why have you not made efforts in totality to be like them. And remember, all of these women who were Jet Beauties of the Week were very educated women.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't utilize the excuse, I don't have time. They found time.
Well, it was a more segregated society.
Yeah.
We had better food. We those Jet Beauty women, they did a lot more physically. They did a lot more physically than women do today. Not just in their natural course of living. They walk more. I mean, you hardly see people walking. In 1973, 74, and if you looked at your average street in Chicago, you saw black women walking up and down the street, to and from the store, to and from the laundromat, to and from the dry cleaners, to and from church. You saw people walking all the time. So I mean, everything is so different now. Like when you mention the Jet Beauties, you can't mention them without actually referencing to the world in which those women were born and raised. And it was a very different world. Just completely different world.
Do we still have Jet Beauties?
I don't know.
I don't think
Let me
they do.
put it to you this way,
I don't
right?
ever hear anything about them, so I have to assume they.
Oh, guys, real quick, because I don't know how I did this again. No placeholder be slipping up here. It ain't said nothing. No placeholder. What's up, brother? You got to get an opening statement in, or you did you come up for the after show? Because I ain't see no message like that.
No, I'm here for the back, Roger. So the after show, I should say.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well,
Thank you for having me.
I'll put it. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we about to hit the after show because we are at the 3 hour mark now. We at the 3 hour mark. But go ahead. Father. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this because you're about to do your closings. We got the perfect example of somebody who put effort and mentality and molded together. Our favorite girl, Trust. That lady's very beautiful. You know, one of the most touching things she ever said, I think she was on her show or my show, when she was a much heavier woman. Her mentality and disposition shined before she got to the size she desired. She already had the disposition and mentality already. She was a jovial soul before she got to where she wanted. And many people, this works for men who work out as well. You have to have the disposition and mentality first.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's going to build that up for you because guess what? Contentment and happiness are internal emotions that nothing external can truly, really fix. And when we look at Toya and we hear her speak, is she not captivating to the audience? You could probably never see a picture of her. Her voice and demeanor alone has you by the heartstrings. That is the ultimate problem for black women. Not your physicality, it's your spirituality and your mentality. Thank you. Good morning, good noon. Still celebrating. Whoa! Good night.
Congratulations, Troy. You're prettier than a white woman. Congratulations.
No, she's prettier than most women, period.
What
Let's just get it right.
I can say this: in the time that I have known Toya, I've never heard her say a white woman's more beautiful than her, and I've never heard her respond to a compliment that y'all should say that for a white woman. I ain't never heard her do that one time. So it is what it is. And again, what do I look like arguing with some woman, and I'm saying she's beautiful, and she telling me she ugly? To me, that just don't even look right. I'm gonna have to cut up out of there. But y'all, it's been 3 hours, so well, you know, I'll let y'all get some closing statements on this one because it's been 3 hours, so I'm finna wrap it up. We'll start on your end. I'll tell it. You terrible person, you. I'm gonna tell it all. Go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
So, first of all, I'm gonna give my closing statements. It's been a pleasure to speak with most of y'all on the panel. Shout out to Sims for keeping it funky. Roger, today I'm sorry, brother, but you show white supremacy at its fullest. I never thought I would see the day when my brother from Chicago, will practice. My God. But hey, you know what they say. The only thing that's consistent is change. So, I guess you changing, brother. They got him, y'all. They got him. So I'll say with that, I'll say y'all have a good day, good evening, wherever you are in the world. They got him.
Whatever, dude. Great Black Reset. You want to get something in before we go?
Yeah, can you hear me? Is my mic good?
We hear you fine.
Yeah, this is Roger's fault today. Coming up here lying all day long. He got Dr. Doom, the great hot sauce. You got Reed Richards. You got Uru over there. And myself being Iron Man, working together against you. You're doing something wrong, man. You're doing something wrong. I'm laying my plane now.
He said he got the Illuminati.
Shout out to I'm gonna say shout out to the Roger Report Live Infinity War when people lost. But we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going. Creator, any last words on your end?
Women, black women, you're beautiful. You don't need all that. I love you as you are. I like the way you smell. I like the way you walk. I like the way you move. I like the way you squeeze. You understand? I love black women. I do. I just don't understand why you don't love yourself.
Well said, brother. Well said. Blackaroo strikes.
Well, I think you as black men have a dilemma because we're talking about this as if it's black women's responsibility for their self-image, and I don't know anywhere in history where that's actually been true. I mean, men have dictated the standard of beauty of all groups of women throughout history, throughout every society. Whatever adornments, however she should be featured, whatever whatever her weight and body disposition proportion should be. Men have always dictated that, celebrated certain things and gave disfavor to others. So you guys really kind of have a dilemma where, because as you disclaim ownership and responsibility for it, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, you're almost guaranteeing that it won't be fixed because they can't fix this about themselves. Because no woman can fix this about themselves. No woman, no human woman. Only men can fix it. Now, I will agree that you're not probably in a position to fix it largely because of them, because of this fallacious system that imbues them with a power they have no business having. And that's the problem. The problem is not that the woman cannot fix it. The problem is you're not allowed to take the position to fix it without, of course, incurring great potential harm upon yourself. So you have a dilemma. Now, that's why I say go out in the world and, explore the world. Find a woman who looks like you want her to look and going to do like you want her to do. And we're unencumbered by this evil white, hegemonic white supremacist system. Go do that. But if you're going to stay here, and if you're still going to mostly ply your efforts amongst Black American women, they're not going to get fixed without you. It's not going to happen. Nowhere in history do women fix themselves without men. And I'll end my ending statement there.
All right. I'll take her. Psych. It's on you.
Well, to piggyback off of what Uru said, I guess it just ain't gonna happen because you can't love somebody that don't love themselves. You'll be dealing with Jada Pickett, and we tell our women we like them natural. We like them just the way God made them. And somehow they fight back and they fight back and they tell you you don't like black women and they tell you you're gay and all kinds of craziness. We mess with them heavy. We love them. That is our first preference. But it's them who's pushing us away. It's them who's telling us, you know what, I want my hair straight. So why would I want the fake straight hair when I can get the real straight hair? Why would I want the fake eyelashes when I can get the real long eyelashes like the authentic one? Why? Why? They don't want a fake Gucci bag, but they want me to want a fake black woman. I can't do it. No, baby, I'm not gonna be able to do it. And I'll pass it to the next one in the crew.
Okay. Faulkner, it's on you.
One, to thy own self be true. Listen, fellas. Beauty is only skin deep until spiritual and emotional ugliness goes down to the bone. You have to be confident in yourselves and pick women who are like minded. As we love, like I gave the example of lovely Toya, guess what? Her mentality opened up a whole new possibility of not only interest, but also results. Stop being everybody's, we're not just saying white women, stop being everybody's emotional punching bag. What you need to do is be strong in your own right. If that woman doesn't see herself as something, and you talked and you sat her down with your logical mind and talked to her and say that you're beautiful as you are, that's a saboteur to your hope, dreams, relationships, marriages, whatever. Because they're gonna feel certain such a way that in order to feel better, she's got to tear somebody down. A true woman of beauty does not mind helping up or lifting up her man and her children. It's very easy to discover that. Look at how she sees bad times. Does she wilt and does she scream? Does she make everybody feel lesser than? Or does she go out of her way to still have a smile and a beautiful disposition about herself? This is what you need to decipher. We cannot afford to be the garbage men of the dating world. We play that role too much. Shout out to BGS because I'm going to say it again. Get your ROI, your return on investment. If she cannot if she cannot invest in me emotionally, then you know everything else in that situation is going to fall apart. Protect yourself at all times. Keep your dukes up. Watch out for the takedowns and the submission holds. Woo! God bless.
Hey, Roger.
Well, all right, go ahead, Toronto, but I'm gonna double back to Brock.
Okay, I just
Go
wanted to say, my wife was kissing me so much and loving on me so much, I forgot what color she was. Peace.
This guy right here, Project.
Shout out to the missus. Shout out to the missus. Real talk. All right, Bronk, it's on you. Any
All right.
closing statement?
Yeah, I'm gonna say shout out to all the black fathers out there with black daughters. Shout out to y'all. I know y'all out there telling y'all daughters they beautiful as much as you can, but I know a lot of y'all out there as well dealing with women who are essentially tearing the walls that you are building up right back now. Me being a father of five black beautiful young girls myself, tell them they beautiful every day. Tell them how good their hair looks. Teach them about their blackness, the people they come from. Tell them their story didn't start here in America. I show them what a strong man is by how I treat my woman. Uplift them, encourage them. I'm there for their violin concerts, parent teacher conferences. And so they see how much that they mean to me as a black man.
And so I'll challenge you all to think beyond what you're being told, because I don't think that black women's, for the most part, disdain in themselves is truly coming from black men. And I'll go ahead and land my
Can
plane there.
I do a quick statement, Roger, before you head out?
Now you want to make a statement. Now you want. No, go ahead, bro.
I got inspired by the rest of these guys talking and the closing statements. I figured I just make a closing statement as well. But yes, I, I was listening to what Bronk was saying because I have sisters too. I do have 5 sisters. So I'm saying, so I understand where Bronk's situation is. All you need to do is have an older son, and that would have been my situation. What I'm saying, but when I confronted my sisters and I told them the reality of, like I told my sister when I was driving her to college that you cannot date neutrally, and she didn't understand what that meant. So it's like you can't just date any man you want. And she's like, what is that? I was like, based on metrics. You know what I'm saying? Based on metrics, you would literally have to date only black men, like 80% of the time, meaning that the first 8 men you're gonna date is a black man. Then perhaps you can go after, because based on metrics, that's what works for you. So I agree that the women want to believe they're not in the same environment as us, but they are. They're here. It is white supremacy. And if you're not going to get behind the men and use your intelligence and whatever it is to allow them to shield you from white supremacy, then you will be victimized by it. Nevertheless, so thank you, Roger.
I appreciate you, brother. Now, shout out to King Picks. Now, he came in late in the game, y'all. He just got here. He said, telling your girls their hair looks good means nothing because they want approval from the white man. Now, this is the thing. It does mean something. It doesn't mean something when you, well, it probably won't mean anything when their father's not in the home. But if a girl is raised with her father, trust me, it has a huge impact. And every child is seeking approval from their father, male and females. The issue is, yeah, this whole black women ain't beautiful thing. This ain't coming from black men. It literally comes from white folk. And then black women keep pushing it on themselves. So at the end of the day, y'all, again, what do I look like arguing with a woman? And I'm claiming she's beautiful and she claiming she ugly. At some point, I look like an idiot. You know, it just is what it is. I'm gonna look stupid. I'm not gonna make this argument forever. I'm gonna say, sure, Black Root makes a point that men have to fix stuff, which is very true. What I'm saying is you cannot fix what's in a person's head. That's a self thing. You have to adjust what's in your own head yourself. Now, black men, we can continue to support black women from a beauty standpoint, such as, you know, the Jet magazine things, the pageants that we do, you know, complimenting the women when you see them and hear them, you know, the different things that you do for women to celebrate black women's beauty. We can do all that stuff, but it's on them to accept it. Because they'll even show up to some of those events and still not accept that they're beautiful, because a white woman to them is better than them. I can't fix that part about any particular person. You got to figure that out for yourself. I can claim it, but you got to figure it out for yourself. So at the end of the day, look, I've always thought that black women were the most attractive women. I still actually think that today from a physical standpoint. But if they don't believe it, at the end of the day, they were going to go further than mine on that particular thing. And that's just real. When you have people who refuse to believe that they're attractive because they're not as attractive as a white woman, and let's keep it real, that's what it is. She's not concerned with the Chinese woman. She ain't concerned with the Indian woman. She's concerned with that white woman. When she refuses to accept that she look better than that white woman, ain't a whole lot you can do with her. Just is what it is. You know, you can pray for her, but that, you know, ain't a whole lot you can do. Now, I'm not saying black men shouldn't support black women's in any regards when it comes to beauty. That's something, yeah, we should support. We should keep doing pageants and keep doing whatever it is that supports them from a beauty standpoint. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to tell somebody there is something called self-esteem. I can't fix your self-esteem. And that's just reality. You know, shout out to my grandparents who told me that you have to understand what's going on in your own head for yourself. Real talk. And I'm going to read this real quick because it just popped in. Shout out to Landon. Appreciate you, brother. He said, Roger Dub Williams Jr., born February 14th, 1942, is the father and former coach of tennis legends Venus and Serena Williams. Need I say more? And I'm going to say, yes, you make a very strong point with King Richard. I'm going to call him King Richard. You make a very strong point because he supported his daughters in something that they hadn't seen. Because they hadn't seen a woman's tennis champion that was black. They hadn't seen one. But he was with them. They wanted to do it. He supported them, got them all the way there. It is what it is. Now, what they think about that, you can question. But he got them there. Some things you do have to do for yourself there. He can coach them. He can tell them where to be. He can put them in a place that they can practice. But he can't make them be what they became. All he could do is help. Black women, we'll help you, but you got to do it for yourself. It just is what it is. I can't help you be more beautiful than a white woman. That's something you got to decide for yourself that you want to be. And I'm going to end it right there. It's been a great, interesting show. If y'all came late, y'all need to go back and listen to the whole thing. Real talk for all y'all people who come late and then you never go to the beginning. Now, y'all need to hear what came out in this one. Real talk. Hey, appreciate y'all. We do this Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Chicago time. If you're new, subscribe. Be here. Don't worry about being notified. We're going to be here at 9 a.m. I'll see y'all next time around. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right. And I'm out.